Good evening, everybody. How is everyone's day so far? Hello, hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello!
There we go.
¿Qué pasó?
The gang's all
What?
here.
The gang's all here. Oh, I'm so excited to have everyone here.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Still,
too. This is gonna be a fun time.
still waiting for that third campaign of the Kelps a Crime Syndicate.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be the arbiters hunting you, basically. That's the whole
Great.
campaign.
Great.
Oh
That's
my
gonna go
God.
very well. I can feel it in my bones.
What do you mean? That is the campaign, right?
I gotta find a way to interweave all the campaigns. Yeah.
Yeah, real.
There's so many subplots.
So many. All right, but yes, welcome on in, folks. Yeah, I guess let's get the recap underway. Frank did such an amazing recap before we started for Mio, but I'm gonna do my best to summarize everything that happened last time. Oh my God, I have kicked Simba off of my desk 4 times now, and he just keeps coming back. Buddy, he's just like
Again.
Mother, please.
Tension.
Attention. So yeah, last time we started off with you guys again in Einsboro. You guys woke up from a night. Damien went to go see if he could go visit Nemphra's resting place, to which he was told no by Geese. However, Damien, normally a very law-abiding citizen, decided to go against Geese's word and sneak in, encountering a Gribbly and receiving some damage from said Gribbly. He decided to go with a peaceful option and simply put the Gribbly to sleep and sneak on out of the cave. However, while you were in there, you noticed that some of the natural formation of the cave has been moving, shifting, changing. It's no longer a direct path to where you first laid them for the rest. Let's see, what else? Sorry, I just be posting and fucking out of character. You guys got the ox back. You guys got the ox. Jonas started learning how to manipulate and work the ox. You guys got everything back to Devcast, where you got the ox back to the warehouse. Pin spent mending most of the day, reattaching the ox to the caravan. Well, Jonas and Damien had a bit of a moment. Damien used soul. What's the spell called?
Soul gaze.
Soul gaze on Jonas to sort of get a vibe check of Jonas's soul. Learned some interesting things, but also got a little peered back on by something. And where Jonas was just like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't have done this. Actually, my patron is very possessive," and Damien said, but it won't happen to me, right?" Foreshadowing is a device used. So that night, Jonas had a nightmare, a bit of a dream. They were trying to reach out to Aristos to sort of apologize for how they were using the Eye of Divination. Basically, using it in the exact way that Aristos is upset for people using magic so basically using it as a means to harm and attack and maim, and Jonas has been very much attached to the Eye of Divination in order to attack people. Jonas didn't feel or didn't get a response from Aristos. However, looking down at his reflection at his feet, he saw his reflection take out his left eye and replace it with the Eye of Divination. Ashram. Yeah, Ashram used Identify and Detect Magic to its utmost levels to basically try to get as much as he could about the Eye of Divination, and learned that it is very old, very ancient, primordial even, and it does not read like a normal magic item. It also is asking you guys, begging you guys to go further with it, which then prompted the Jonas dream. Then we have Damien, who woke up in the middle of the night, eyes fluttering open to see Gertrude pinned to the roof of his bunk, dead. And that prompted him to scream, fall out of his bunk, to where he was met face to face with the twisted and mangled body of Nemphra in the caravan. Tried to scuttle away from that, and was then attacked by a Gribbly, only to find out that this was all in his head, and maybe the Ravenous did take a liking to him. You guys woke up in the morning. CC and Pin went to go get some supplies. Ashram, Jonas, and Damien took the caravan to the teleportation station to get ready to take you guys to your next destination. And that is when Damien finally saw a large group of Death Shepherds, presumably heading to Ainsborough.
That part was rad.
That was pretty cool. Yep.
50 guys really isn't that many guys.
Surely Damien wants to go say hi, you know, considering the trauma of also not having the remains of their mentor. That probably wouldn't cause any issue.
No, not at all, not at all.
We're not talking about that right now.
No?
We ain't going there right now.
God, it's still so sunny where you are, buddy. Holy crap.
I mean that. I also have like a little ring light on my camera. I can.
It's quarter after
I mean-
9 p.m. for me, so.
I mean, yeah. That's because the sun likes you less.
Damn!
And
10 in the morning here, the sun is kind of attached to us. It's highly opinionated.
wow.
So yes. Did you guys want to regroup, or what's going on?
So, point being, important thing to stress, where we left off was after Damien had went and seen the procession, he was now in the midst of a crowd, and it is canonical, Damien has next to no sense of direction.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh my god.
So
oh, you
I
guys
would
didn't
say
roll
that
your
it would...
d20s, did you?
Oh yeah,
I
no,
didn't.
not yet.
No.
Let us do that.
Okay.
But yeah, more or less, I would say, absolutely 100% be in character for Damien to be freaking lost right now.
I see.
He's freaking lost right now. What is that?
Frank, did
What
you
are
roll the
doing?
10? Was that today?
Yeah, it was. It was great. I love Sweet Feet Rib.
Ooh. So, yeah, so
Alright,
far
V, we
Hex
need a
is in
nat
the
20
lead.
from you.
All right, here it comes,
Or
baby.
at least an 18.
Here it comes,
Go.
baby. Here it comes, baby.
Oh,
Hey,
Hey, let's
19!
fucking go.
So that
We're
means
on the
D,
warpath of the night.
you have a D10 of inspiration to give to somebody other than you this session.
I roll the dice and then do a strongman pose like I drank a potion in Monster Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. He said D10 inspiration to someone else?
Yes, to
That's
somebody
how that
else.
was,
Yeah. Cannot give it to yourself.
Right.
Also, I want to apologize in advance. My dog is already snoring.
Oh.
That is okay. The only thing we're getting right now is some feedback from Hex's microphone.
All right.
All right.
Fair enough, yeah.
That fair response.
That's real.
All right. So Ashram, Jonas, you both are down a Damien.
I see.
Would I have noticed him leave?
What's your passive perception?
Not much.
It ain't a lot.
Let's check.
Just
Oh.
for reference. Also, I don't think
14.
mine's very high either.
Okay, what's yours?
Mine is 13.
In a busy, crowded area where you guys are focusing on getting a large caravan through crowds of people, I don't think either of you would have really noticed Damien slipping off unless he made like a big exclaim before he left.
Let me see.
Even so, I probably wouldn't have seen him because he'd be coming out from behind me. I'm on the front of the car. So I don't know if I would have stopped.
Probably not.
Just whistling away, just waiting on
Ruh-roh.
folks to come back.
All right, I guess we'll go over to Pin and CC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last question I gave Pin was, Pin, do you, while we had the shopping district, do you want anything, by the way? I got a coat, and we got all of like, the stuff we need already, so.
I raise my hand for Oko.
Yes, this happened.
What are the components to making some sort of bomb? And can I buy those at
Sugar
the store?
and ammonia.
Can those be purchased at a convenience store in D&D?
Okay, hold on.
That, like, with the speed that answer came out was just...
Yeah.
That was quite a speedy response. That is true. Hold on. So you don't want to just see if you can buy like a bomb in D&D now? You just want to make one?
I think it's more exciting if I make it. I want to invent bombs.
Oh, okay.
I'm
We like the
scared.
bigger bomb.
So,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be inventing them in this universe because they do exist.
Okay, I assumed so. I just meant, like, in, like, the fun way. Like, in the fun, silly, hee-hee, I'm an artificer, I'm gonna make a bomb.
Okay.
Why do you sound so tired?
Well, I am tired, but
I'm
I need to figure out how to make a bomb in D&D.
It's
grenade.
gotta be a
Any
post
sort of-
somewhere.
yeah. Any sort of, like, grenade, a flash bomb, even. I'll settle for a flash bomb for now, if that's easier.
I don't like the
Pin
fact
already,
that-
Pin already made flashbangs.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, I
Okay,
think you
well,
already
I
did
want a
that.
shrapnel bomb. Well, now we're hitting a different. Well, now we're gonna now we're aiming bigger.
Now they're aiming for
Next project.
shrapnel, more absorbable metal for the hungy.
For me, huggies, yeah.
So there is actually like a third-party book that like is all about explosives and whatnot for 5e. However, I can't find a free version.
Okay. We'll circle back. We'll circle
I
back.
can't spend the $25 right now to buy the PDF.
No, you're okay, babe. We'll circle back. We'll figure
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
We'll figure
yeah,
this out.
yeah.
Just know it's on the list, and at some point, I will, book or not, I will learn to make a bomb.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna boil down to, okay, since we can't build a bomb now, it's like, do you just want glass things that you would put potions in? Because then it's you fill it with one substance, and all you gotta do is add the accelerant, and then shake and throw and pray.
This
Yeah,
sounds like
I think-
a terrible idea.
So that being
when you tell,
that being said, you can purchase explosives in DevCast
Just-
specifically, and also Alchemist's Fire, which is kind of like Molotovs.
an alchemist fire be purchased here, just in Death Cast.
You guys are in DevCast, so yes, it can be
Oh,
purchased
we are
in
in Death Cast. I
yeah.
thought we were gonna. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, slay. My ass wants alchemist fire.
All
My
right.
silly ass.
For totally benign purposes, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Totally,
I think when
totally.
you tell
You
the
just-
middle be. You go on.
I was gonna say, CC hear that, and it's just like, in his head, he's like, I shouldn't have asked. I shouldn't have asked. I shouldn't have asked. I shouldn't have asked. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're looking for Alchemist Fire.
Woo! You guys have both lived in DevCast for a number of years at this point. You pretty much know places to acquire things. You guys go to sort of a off to the side, lesser known store. CC, you'd probably know that it is frequented by more adventuring types, given your background working with Tricky Dark Path and things like that. So this is probably one that this is probably a place that you would have thought of. Can't think of a name for it off the top of my head. I do apologize. This is a store I'm making up for all of you. Inside.
I was about to say such a shitter answer of just like, what if we just call it 5 Big Booms?
Big Boom, a big gift from me to you.
I'm so sorry to everyone. I promise I'm not this TikTok brain rot normally. I swear to God.
I keep hearing this bit, and I don't know this bit because I'm an old woman. But
That's okay.
Later.
The first thing that came to mind was Plum's Big Bombs.
oh, that's
we
very
don't,
good.
We don't want to be upfront about the bombs, you see. And that's now the voice for the NPC, I'm just saying.
All right.
Oh my god.
What about Boomhilda's gunpowder and tea cozy emporium? And those are the two things she sells: gunpowder and tea cozies, and that's it. She don't get a lot of business.
Corn is a very specific market.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Let's head over to the gunpowder and tea.
Yeah. You go over to Black Powder and Sons. No, Powder and Sons. There we go. Powder and Sons.
Oh.
And it's sort of a dimly lit place. It's a lot cooler inside. You hear the familiar hum of an almost mechanically controlled air circulation. And behind the counter is a bit of an older looking woman. She's got sleek dark hair with streaks of gray in it. It's pulled back tightly. Small, tiny circular framed glass. Oops. Sorry.
Oh my god.
My fat ass son just rolled over while he was sleeping on my desk and just fucking Mufasaed himself off the fucking desk.
Oh god.
He was just
The
holding
boy.
on for dear life.
I could hear it.
Baby. He's fine. He's fine. Sorry. Yes, small circular framed glasses. No arms on them, just small frames on the bridge of her nose. As you guys walk in, the little bell chimes, and she looks over, and you see on the left side of her face, now exposed to you, some scarring, leaving her left eye a little murkied. She's dressed conservatively, and she holds her chin high. And she gives a nod as you two walk in.
I'm probably just gonna let. Well, actually, I can't.
I guess.
It's like, hey, let me let this child. Yeah. No. Cece's probably gonna go up. Is like, hello. I'm assuming you're Powder.
I forgot the voice I was gonna use. Powder's the last name.
Ah, okay. Well, nice to meet you. My name is Cece. I was looking to procure a few items before going out. Do you by any chance have any alchemist's fire?
She doesn't even acknowledge the question and just basically starts moving cupboards and whatnot underneath her counter before eventually pulling up a large, looks like well-insulated box and placing it on the counter in front of her. She unlatches two things on the side and another latch up front before eventually opening it up slowly to reveal a velvet-lined box with a series of vials, each vial placed delicately in its own perfectly fit well. And what's the
Great.
power you're looking for?
Like the use for this?
Alchemist's fire can come in a few different power levels, we'll say. Are you looking for something small or...
Think
Hey,
back
like-
immediately. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, Payne was just gonna like tug on the back of Cece's like little scarf cowl thing, and just like whisper, "What's the cost of all of them?"
God damn it. That was gonna be my next question. There we go. My mic doesn't want to pick up whispers. Uh, I was like, Cece's like forgot to ask that question because he's just like, there's just the first thing he thought was like, oh my god, there's actual safety measures. There's not, there isn't just
Aw.
an unlit fireball pearl like last time we saw something explosive.
An alchemist fire for the whole family.
Yeah. What is so I mean potentially a few variations, especially where we run into some things that are larger, some things that are smaller. What is the cost of everything?
Something small and introductory is 20 gold pieces. Something a little more potent would run you 40 gold pieces. And lastly, if you're looking to make an impression, that would run you 70 gold pieces.
Okay.
Me shaking my little coin purse of 700 gold pieces.
I was gonna say, I was like, I know Pin has the cash for all of this. I don't have the cash, so Cece kind of might look down and just kind of just be like, I don't have cash for Kate, are you cool paying this time? considering this is 4 Pin, normally Cece's like, no, I got it. And Cece's like, I am literally broke.
I got it.
I
Turns to
have-
Finn. Can I see the purse, please?
Oh my
Um,
god.
See, Cece's probably been like, give me one moment. I just want to confirm with my party member before we decide on which ones. I feel like we're going to be making a few. Is there by chance any, like, if we buy in bulk, a discount?
No.
LOL.
Bat's eyes, pretty please mode. But also totally understandable. This is, an explosive.
Understood.
But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of like go to the side, and kind of like look to kind of like, okay, so which ones do you want? I'm assuming you can buy them all, but we can't buy them all.
Pin's like,
Why
watch
not?
me.
Yeah, as soon as you say that, Pin's just like, I want one of each. And then they'll think for a second, like sort of tap their chin and just be like, actually, 2 of the small one too.
Oh man, honestly, better than I thought. I thought Penn was gonna go for two. I thought Penn was gonna go for two of the big biggies and be like, yes, craters.
That would simply be not too wise. We may not need it. Like she said, that's her making a statement.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, so yeah, so then after like the quick little huddle, C's gonna go back and was like, could we have 2 of the introductory fires and then just one of each of the other 2?
You watch her do sort of the calculation in her head, and she starts pulling the vials that you requested before moving them to a smaller, again, that velvet-lined box. And the total would be 150 gold pieces.
The bathroom. I so did.
No,
actually.
the
Yeah,
math
yeah.
that math is 1,000% correct. Yeah, because it's 220s, a 40, so that's 80, and then the 170.
I was 10 off. My ass sitting here like, yes, 140 definitely equals 80 plus 70. Yes.
Listen, I was really hoping for the discount to make it that 140, so it would have been right. But also, this is one of those ones where I'm like, CC isn't probably gonna fish for a discount for this one because these are explosives, and also, the shopkeep currently there does not look like they fuck around, and I would not like to find.
Do not attempt to haggle with the woman with bombs.
Exactly.
Among other things, Pin will walk up to the counter and sort of rifle through their bag for a moment before sort of messily pulling out this like destroyed like little burlap sack of cash and pulling out the amount they need and placing it in front of the woman. And they're like very methodical and careful. Like they put like 1 coin at a time to make sure they're not doing anything incorrectly and just sort of like push it towards her in one pile.
As you're doing this, this woman is subtly eyeing you. I'm gonna say CC. You probably have a higher passive perception. Do you?
Yep, 17.
Yeah, you can definitely see her eyeing Pin as this happens, and as Pin is methodically counting out the coinage. She's got both of her hands folded firmly over the smaller box that she's prepared for the both of you. There's Frank. Before eventually her gaze shifts towards UCC. Does your automaton normally carry your coin for you?
Oh, I forgot! It's robot racism! Oh! Yeah, let me go to my fucking... There was notes about this, and I hated all of it every single time.
I need to go get like a straw for my energy drink or something because my VTuber's doing weird fucking shit every time I go take a drink.
CC is probably oh, go ahead. Sorry, Ben or Meow.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say something, but I turned out to be muted. And sort of like as they're still like counting through the pile, like without even looking up at the woman, they're just gonna go, "Do you normally ask such irrelevant questions?"
Coming into an explosive shop with a warforged that looks like a child, you must understand that I do have to ask these questions.
Do I take the honest route? Wait, actually, also, quick question. Stein would technically be with us since I'm assuming Pin is. I don't know if we ever discussed that.
I guess technically, yeah.
Okay.
Oof, pardon me.
CC kind of looks to Pin and is like, "Are you cool if I am actually honest, or do you want to follow with this bullshit?" Kind of, like the look of like preference.
And I think in that moment, sort of just like assessing the situation, we'll just like hand wave, just like do whatever. They don't care.
Okay,
It's not that serious.
cool. Just because CC is like, I forgot about robot racism, and also kind of wants to fight now. CC's kind of gonna just be like, well, she isn't. They.
Pin will correct you on their pronouns, actually.
Proceeds to pair herself. Anyway, they aren't my Warforged because they are their own person. I don't know if you can tell, but I play instruments. I don't really deal with automatons. And then kind of gestures outside. I was like, they're the ones who built that one. And motions to Stein.
You watch her again with your higher. What's your passive insight? Your insight's not very good.
No, it's not. Passive is just 10 plus what is it? Just like the
10 plus.
Thing. And the insight's wisdom.
Oh, you don't have anything in it.
I was gonna raise it the next time I got the chance. It's 11.
Ooh. Okay, you don't notice anything. She
Gulp.
She just declines to answer. Unless Pin's got a higher passive insight.
I don't.
Okay.
But I have a high passive investigation. If that's relevant.
Not for here. However,
Understand,
with your high passive investigation, this place is very well kept, very clean, very tidy. You also notice a plethora of other explosive type things, like showcased on the wall behind her, except with you being an artificer and being technologically inclined, you can tell that these are more so the shells of the explosives and not actually packed with anything where they are on display behind her. They're more so as a display. So if
It already knows what this.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on. No, it's okay.
I was just basically gonna be like, if you guys ever need any other explosives, you know that she sells more than Alchemist's Fire.
I
Good to
literally.
know.
I didn't even need to be told that. She's very shady. I'm like, she has like a secret lover in here. I just know it. Like, if she pulled something, like,
She has a secret lover
Right.
in here.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
But as after she said that, Caesar was like, "Is there a problem, or are we okay?"
I will just need you, protocol, you see, to sign this waiver. And she will produce a clipboard from underneath her counter.
Even here, you can't get out of paper.
Um, inherently, I'm assuming this is for the person who is buying it
Yes.
or using it. Okay. Um, is there space for multiple, or is it like one of those ones like we're just expecting one person to sign?
It's just one person to sign.
I'm gonna hand the clip. Oh, this is a good idea. I'm gonna hand the clipboard to Pin because Pin is one, the one paying, and also two, the one who's gonna be using this. And he's just like, okay, well, here you go, and hands the clipboard to Pin.
they're like shocked for a moment. I think they're just like, this is like, this is out of the norm of what they'd experienced in the past, but they'll get the hint and sign it. Internally they will appreciate it, though their face will remain entirely neutral.
All right. Once things are signed, coin is exchanged. The small box is eventually moved forward, and she's a little slow to take her hand off of it, but she eventually does. Her bony fingers.
Just stored away.
Yeah, I was like, and then I guess as we're working on Cece's just gonna be like, thank you again. Have a wonderful day.
Pit says nothing of the sort.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then I guess we're making our way to the teleportation station, unless Pin wants anything else. But I'm assuming Pin was like, I want bombs.
Yeah, I was pretty dead set on. We were both pretty dead set on an explosive, and we got that, so we can figure out the rest later. Step one. We're good.
Point.
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to send, or I'm gonna. Mia, do you want me to send the damage types to you directly, or you just want me to put them in OOC?
You can send them to me.
Okay.
Ho 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 ho. I rub my little hands together. Think of all the things I could do now.
Many things the hands can do.
Excellent. We have a university to burn.
Let's
Wow.
go. Especially because, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. I don't remember if it's the case. Doesn't Alchemist Fire like almost impossible to put out?
It can be, depending on if you have the right ingredients for it.
I mean, yeah. You could probably magic it extinguished. But by non-magical means, yeah, I believe the intent is for it to be a right bastard to put out.
On hit, the target takes fire damage equal to the value indicated on the potency. It doesn't say anything here directly about it being difficult to put out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find another one. On hit, the target takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turn. A creature can end this damage by using an action to make a DC 10 dexterity check to extinguish the flames.
Okay. I don't know anything about that, but I'm in my D&D section right now, so I can't help you.
Oh.
Okay.
Alright. But yeah. You guys exit the shop. She also notably does not say anything to you as you guys leave.
That's fair. We're on the same page.
Stinky vibes. Or
Go on, I'm sorry. Continue.
I was just gonna move back over to Team Teleportation Station unless you guys wanted to wrap up anything else.
I'm good. It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, I was saying I'm good.
Okay, Team Teleportation Station. Damien, are you going to attempt to make your way back to the caravan?
He's going to try.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say it's not terribly, or at least I wouldn't think it'd be terribly difficult.
Okay.
So roll me, like, the caravan's large. You've been here a number of times. You've been to the specific teleportation pad that you guys are going to a number of times. Roll me a perception at advantage.
Okie dokie. Let me open my sheet. I thought I had it open, but I guess I was mistaken. And then... Boop. And then... Perception... Doink.
Nice. 16's not bad. Yeah, you managed to spot the caravan in the distance. It is going to be like swimming upstream to get back to it, because it is kind of busy in the teleportation station at the moment. But you are not in any real sense of urgency, or at least you don't believe so, so I'm not going to make you roll anything for it.
Yeah, no. Damien just tries to wade his way through as best he can. Just kind of shuffling past people, just, excuse me, pardon me, okay, pardon, excuse me, how dare you? But yeah, other than that,
Pleef, you make your way back. Ashram and Jonas, just as you start to worry about where Damien is, a familiar mop of blonde hair makes their way to you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Damien
that's all. I guess that's all. That's all.
just kind of like waves over as you guys kind of make eye contact, and he just says, thank goodness, I didn't know if I was going to find you people in time. Terribly sorry about that. I kind of got carried away by something. Is everything all right? I mean, I hope I didn't keep you all waiting long. I just got a bit
No.
distracted.
Oh no, we were just worried and hope you were okay. That's all.
Yes, no, it's just there was a large procession led by the Death Shepherds. It seems what I believe to be I'm having a brain fart. The town
Ainsborough.
that thank you. I don't know why that always to my best estimation, I believe that they are headed to Ainsborough to offer their aid. And I was just excited to see some kind of progress being made. I wish them all safety and luck. I wish I could have had the opportunity to speak with some of them, but...
Well, what? We have a little bit of time, I think. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that?
They are on duty. They will not be stopping. I imagine it will be a straight shot.
All right then, I understand.
I'm just glad to have been able to catch a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
But more or less, I have no business to keep us from, doing what we came here to do.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, Damien waves his right hand, and his flock member is going to again rejoin him at the side, as it had basically, without you guys realizing it, Damien had just been instructing it to command to follow around. We're gonna say you, Ashram. So you probably felt its probably for some people, eerie swaying and stare directed at your attention wherever you went. Following basically about 5 feet behind.
Ashram isn't 1,000% comfortable with the undead, but has known necromancers in his time. And I think at one point he's like, and he's like working on he's doing something in the that involves tools with the caravan, and he just kind of looks over at the flock member. I will not use the Z word, I assure you.
Thank you.
And he looks over at it. He's like, he kind of strokes his. No, I don't think he has the beard anymore, right? He doesn't have the goatee anymore, right?
I believe
think
you
shaved
shaved,
that off.
yeah.
Yeah, you
He
shaved
kind
it.
of
Yeah,
strokes his
I was
chin
saying.
where his goatee used to be, and he grabs just like a random tool. He's like, "Here, hold this," and then he's like, "Does this work? Would that work?"
I mean,
it would do. It would hold it.
yeah,
Like, is it like keyed to me so that it would do what I asked it to?
I would say it's like an extension of Damien's will, and if Damien would have helped you, it would have helped you.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's like he's just working on like some repair, like some inconsequential repairs, just busy work basically. And he's just like he just hands him like a little rod or something that he needs to check something. He's like, "Here, hold this." And I think you come back to him just like swapping tools out from the flock member, just like he's just being a helpful little guy.
Damien walks up and gives a small pat on the vessel formerly known as Murnstone. Murstone. And he gives him a pat on the shoulder, and he just says, I appreciate you keeping him company, although, I mean, I would have appreciated, well, actually, it seems he was assisting you with a task, but normally I would prefer them to be sitting, if
Oh,
they're not otherwise preoccupied.
I apologize. I was not aware. I normally in this event I would have casted
Well,
a unseen servant or something like that, but I figured, he was here. He didn't seem to mind, so.
No, it's no harm done, and I can see now as to why I had essentially tasked it with following you, and it seems that in doing so, by extension, I have also deemed it necessary to help you, maybe assist you. Intent is an interesting thing to translate.
I see.
But I'm just happy that they could be of some help to you. But on
Yeah,
that note,
they seem very nice.
well, I mean, thank you. I think so. I mean, I would say in many ways the flock is, well, an extension of the shepherd. So I would like to think that I would have a very nice flock in company and in mass, should the opportunity arise. I don't know. The things I've just come to realize that between everything, I haven't actually had the opportunity to converse, associate, or more or less report to another branch of the Death Shepherds, and I'm now realizing some of the realities of my given situation.
I see. Well, I've never been really one for tradition in this way. But if you ever, need to talk about anything, I always have an ear for you.
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate that very much. And he gives you a familiar and friendly pat on the shoulder. And
I think Ashram will just kind of touch your hand a little bit, but not quite look at you. He's just trying to. He's just concentrating a little bit far forward, I suppose.
I suppose. But no, Damien just says there's nothing in particular. It's just, for all intents and purposes, I haven't really, been much of a shepherd as of recent. And I just hope that once we get our present circumstances rectified, he kind of just gestures to the cart and everything else. Not immediately, but preferably after we have our meeting with our questionable benefactor, I will hopefully be able to speak with the shepherds who are outposted at Ainsborough. Almost lost it for a second there.
Mm-hmm.
So more so just trying to think forward, as I still will do everything in my power to assist you all, but I'm just curious how things will proceed, considering the condition of, well, what happened to my mentor.
Right. Oh, I understand. Well, I wish I had some sort of advice or elderly wisdom in these matters, but honestly, just you got to do what feels right to you.
That is
Um,
presently of what I have been operating on, and I would say that I have been acting decently enough on that.
I think it's worked pretty well for you, all things considered. It's not exactly been the easiest of times. The last has it been a month? Like how long?
I want to say you guys have known each other for just under 2 months.
Yeah,
Roughly around that.
I can't say it's been the easiest of 2 months, but you are. I hope everyone else can notice the way I notice how hard you are trying to do the right thing, Damien. Because I can tell this old man can tell that you were trying to do your best. And if my blind ass can see it, surely the people who matter can see it.
Well, I appreciate that. And as far as what is my trying to do the right thing, I would say that I have achieved that much, as so far as I have been able to keep all of what I see as, well, my friends together for the time being. That is, as it stands, my present aim. While it might not be lofty, I see you all as my charge, and I will do what I can to ensure your safety and well-being.
Well, considering who your normal charges are, you know, he just laughs that off as a joke.
he looks over to his flock member and then just looks back and he says, I think I've done adequate jobs in maintaining your physical structure.
No, not to say that you haven't.
I mean, present
It's
standings,
just
but
that-
I would think I had done actually quite fantastic work with Joy
No.
here. I mean, did you see the state they were in before?
just like through like laughing through tears. It's just like, no, not in like how well you've maintained them, in that your normal charges are literally the Walking Dead, and I would like to have a couple of more years of life before I officially come under your wing, if you catch my drift.
Oh, most assuredly.
Just
I will make sure that you can live to the full extent of your natural lifespan. As comfortably as I can enable.
I don't. That is probably the most comforting thing you could say at this given time, considering the circumstances.
Thank you.
You are doing as well of a job as anyone could be expected given the circumstances.
I think more or less with that moment of joviality between Ashram and Damien, I think we can concede to moving the whole shebang with the cart along.
I will also add, I think right at the end, Ashram is just like right before the interaction is over. Ashram's just like, "That wasn't consent, by the way. Please don't turn me. I want my body to be at peace, please."
Oh, of course.
No.
I have labored enough in this life. Please no more.
I would
All
never
that I
animate. I would never animate the vessel of one who has not consented beforehand.
I didn't think you would, but
There are
just
rites and
in
rituals
case,
to these things, Ashram.
well,
Please.
just in case you thought that there was implied consent, I just wanted to put that out there.
No.
All right. Pin and CC return. You guys are all together once again. Yes.
Hello,
Hello.
welcome back.
Yes.
All right.
No.
And you guys are taking the large transport pad to
Okay,
To
okay.
Unsborough?
I
Oh,
point of
man.
order. As we're taking the transport pad,
mm,
do we smell gunpowder?
no.
Because gunpowder has a very specific scent to it.
Uh-huh.
Alchemist fire is not gunpowder.
Alchemist
Oh,
fire
also-
is not gunpowder.
also-
There was
You
I
think
thought there
that
was
reputable
gunpowder in it. My bad. I
Also,
thought there
you
was
think a
gunpowder in
shop
it.
that is that reputable would just allow gunpowder to just be hanging in the air?
I did
don't know.
I did describe the shop as very clean and very climate controlled.
Right, but I meant like I apologize. I thought there was gunpowder in like as a, like an igniter for alchemist fire. I don't know why I thought that, but I wasn't sure if like passing it over there might be a scent of it on like someone's hands or clothes or just I had to ask.
Boom.
I always just thought of it as literally like liquid, like almost like lava, but less. But
That's a good-
but
that's
like
a good point.
more.
Yeah,
liquid
it is.
than
It's
fire.
fire
It's
that
just napalm.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Napalm go burr.
no problem. Just wanted to double check.
I have a character who uses alchemist fire to heal people.
That's
How?
sick as hell. We
Love
love
that.
cauterizing wounds with everlasting fire.
All right.
Big
well,
burn.
Yeah. For the sake of brevity, you guys take the teleportation pad. It is very different being teleported in the caravan for those who are opting to stay in the caravan for the teleport. But yeah, you guys eventually wind up on the other side, just about an hour outside of Inesboro.
Do we get a not queasy Damien because he was inside?
Only the dice shall know.
Ooh,
That's a 7.
that's a 7.
No.
Oh no.
Wait, has Damien already spewed today? I think he took 2 trips, and I think he passed both times, I think.
You
Yeah,
passed the second time.
Yeah, you spewed at one point.
Okay.
You spewed towards Eins. You know what? It's just going towards Einsboro for some reason. You just keep spewing when we get here. What's your deal with Einsboro, Damien? What's going on, man?
It's anxiety tummy. He doesn't want to get chewed up by Gertrude
Yeah.
again.
It's something to do with the local
Is it?
fluctuations in the Arcanosphere, I swear.
Yes.
I hate this place. Just kidding, though.
Damn.
That's a joke. That's no, he wouldn't say that. Although he would say, I hate teleporting.
Her.
Uh,
Yeah. One in 10 people get sick when they teleport. It's an inner ear thing. It's okay. Just take a bite into this orange. They'll be
1
fine.
in 10?
Yeah.
I spent good money on those
There.
oranges. Don't use them on teleportation sickness.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
say 1 in like 0.01. It's
What?
fine. Yeah.
That's
One
an
in
even
1,000.
holy crap. That's like everybody
Yeah.
pukes.
Wait,
Yeah,
hang on,
two-
no.
Each dozen people puke.
Look, I put the decimal point on the wrong side of the equation. It's 0.01 in 10. It's like 1 in 1,000. How about that? How about 1 in 1,000? Is that what you want from me? Do you want math? In my
CC leaning over to
game?
Jonas. And this guy was a professor.
I
He taught
And he
magic, not
calls
math.
my magic with a
I-
K. Ooh.
Ashram thinks magic is math.
listen.
That- That 1 in .01 seems pretty magic with a K, if you ask me.
Delilah is bad at math, but Ashram is a genius. Ashram said the right thing. Delilah said the wrong thing. Okay, let's not get it twisted.
Oh, do I hear that, sister?
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
me and my
real.
LARP server right now trying to deal with a fucking parasitic zombie outbreak. My character is a doctor, but I am not. Yet why do I have so many tabs open of fucking medieval parasitic removal and what causes fucking chronic wasting disease? Why am
Oh
I
my
getting
God,
a PhD for LARP?
What better way to remove a medieval one? What better way to remove a parasite than another parasite?
No.
Bring the leeches.
Double negative.
Drain the blood.
I do have a jar of leeches with my LARP kit.
Drain the humors.
Oh.
Oh.
It unsettles people.
Excellent.
Alright, but anywho. You guys make your way to Einsborough. It is, you guys left DevCast sort of, we'll call it like mid-morning. So by the time you guys make it to Einsborough, it is, we'll call it a little past 12. It's like a little past noon. However, the first thing that you guys might see upon entering Einsborough, because I don't know if I've got the map open for you guys. Un momento, por favor. I do, okay.
Yeah.
Roll20's fucking running like ass for me. But you guys, pardon me, would enter here. So you guys see the mines. Oh my god, it's so slow. You guys would see the mines over here. So you guys do see the Death Shepherds that were once in DevCast are now over there. Damien's like hanging out the window.
I want to see the Pope. Let me see the Pope mobile. I want to see the Pope mobile. Where is it? I love Artie. I love Artie, the Shepherd member. I miss him. There he is. There he is. I see him. Like really famous members of the flock.
Hey,
I mean, there are immortals in there.
I mean, yeah, that's
Oh,
you're
that's
not
unironically.
wrong. Yeah. Damien is definitely he seems eager because again his attention is immediately drawn on the procession over by the mines, but for anybody who can read Damien's expressions at this point, he definitely seems stuck between excitement and some kind of extreme anxiety.
Boy, I love when my body can't differentiate between anxiety and excitement. That's my favorite.
So, but he doesn't go running off this time. But at basically any given moment, his attention is drawn over that way. Definitely distracted.
I see. Excuse me.
But I'll stay. Go.
Okay, I was gonna say, you guys just trekking on through Einsborough?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Not
I mean-
stopping at all? Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. If I wasn't jumping the gun because I was gonna try and step my foot in before somebody else said something. But there's no freaking way that we're just gonna keep moving along without stopping.
I was gonna
That's
say,
not
I'm like,
happening.
CC looks to Damien as we kind of make our way, I'm assuming just past, and Damien is like, I'm assuming already like 3/4 out of the window, be like, no, we gotta stop.
He's just like, wait, okay,
Wait.
I thought people were gonna stop for something. Hold on.
Are we stopping? I say both in character and out of it.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, why are we stopping?
Well, because there's an entire procession of Death Shepherds that I specifically sent a missive for, and now they are here, and I would like to converse with them.
It was sort of just like sink into their chair, and almost like you could tell if they had a phone, they would just go on it and start like doom scrolling or something. But I guess they'll just start reading a book.
Teenagers.
Not Jonas's though. Let's not do that
That
again.
one. It died.
Yeah.
Not again.
Oh, true.
The book is now my arm.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, I guess.
Goodness.
Pin starts reading
Um,
the novel that was left in the caravan about the two gay kings. Clearly, they're too young for it. It does say mature on the book. Does anyone stop them?
Didn't stop me.
I'm
Uh,
I'm
130.
assuming.
Look at it here.
Yeah,
It
I'm
would be
assuming
looked
I'm
at
not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say. See, I'm assuming basically as soon as we stop, Damien's already out of the car, like the caravan, and Cece's gonna kind of just like Cece's thinking I'm going with him to make sure one, that we get Damien back, and
Yeah.
two, I would like to leave here before the sun sets. And while Cece greatly loves Damien, I feel like Damien surrounded with Death Shepherds would mean we would not see Damien for weeks if nobody was there to stop him.
We can't
Real.
leave the wizards together. We've learned this the hard way.
They're not all wizards.
So true.
True.
Thank you for intervening.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I guess-
I would say. Go ahead, Ben.
It's okay. I wasn't gonna say anything. Anything serious. I was just gonna be like, well, since we're all out, Pin will just go on a walk through the town, and see if there's anything weird we might have missed from the last time we were here. While they're doing that,
Freaking fights.
I'm searching for side quests.
But yeah, in the time that they're talking about that, Damien has also put on some of the more ornate jewelry that he doesn't like, the glitz and glam that's more ceremonial that he doesn't really throw on. But since he's about to go be in the presence of actual fucking Death Shepherds, 100% he's putting his all of his regalia on. He always has the headpiece on. But most of the little bobs, bangles, and rings and such, he does not adorn himself with usually. So, but he has 100% busted that out and very quickly, although carefully, put it all around. So he is definitely a little bit more jangly, and probably looks a lot more like how you first met him. With how he is adorned with everything. And then he stops racing and he says, "Oh, I stood all to the funnel. I don't have enough time to comb my hair." As he just
Ask
kind of
the wizard to prestidigitate it, Damien. He can make soup hot. He could probably do that too.
Jonas will offer to comb his hair for him.
Okay, first and foremost, I don't have the time. Secondly, I have a specific set of oils that I use for my hair, and I will not deviate from that.
I think
Right
Ashram
on.
just kind of looks up with like his hands out. It's like I can do like a wind blown sort of look and do like a gust, like a puff of wind in your face if you wanna
I would
want to do that.
have to start. Once I start with my braid, it will never end. This will be the next 3 to 4 hours of my life, and I should have planned better for this. I honestly don't
What
know
if
what I
you
was
did like
expecting.
what if you did like a full like sort of workman's like top knot situation, like a business casual kind of look?
This is the in-lore point where Pin gets up and leaves.
See your friends.
I was about to say, there's like 2 more sentences of hair that can occur, and depending on what happens, Cece will step in and be like, "We're not discussing hair care when we're kind of on a time crunch."
Yeah, I gotta. For all I know, they could already be making their way in. I need to go see what the situation is.
From outside. Then go!
I will.
Okay, do it!
No. While all this is going on,
Yep.
probably as Buddy is leaving, I'm gonna pull up the orb,
Your water sphere
my-
or the eye?
my water sphere.
Okay, yeah.
But I will let Buddy do his visit first
All right, so
before I have a chat with the boss.
sorry. So Damien and Cece, you guys make your way over to the front of the mines, the front of the caves. Outside, you see it's not a Damien. It's nowhere near the size that you saw earlier. You surmise that some of the shepherds and their flocks have already made their way into the entrances of these caves.
Okay.
However, what you do see outside is geese conversing with a tall and almost imposing individual. They have shortish silvered hair sort of slicked back and out of their face. They have the death shepherd circlet on, and you see 5 prongs sticking out of the back, denoting as probably a very high ranked individual. He is human-ish. He does have some slighter features that maybe could lend him to be half elven. He has large, almost black metalled pauldrons with long banners of red that hang from either side of them, and on them you see names written in them, very similar to how Death Shepherds will often credit their mentors and family members through their clothes and through their jewelry. He has a fitted black metal chest plate that's sort of worked into his outfit. Black metal tassets, black metal greaves. You surmise this is probably a cleric. A Death Shepherd cleric. Standing next to him is a Warforged that, though still very beautiful and in line with Vermod's standards, looks like it's probably built for combat. And another large and intimidating individual, a Goliath-looking individual who is a flock member with a black skull painted on their tattooed on their face, denoting them to be an immortal that has already been interned to the flock. But they are standing there and they are conversing with geese. So Geese is looking up at them, and this gentleman is sort of hands folded behind his back, looking down at the kobold as Geese is trying to explain the situation. You hear him going on about the Griblies and the wet workers who encountered them, and the stories that you guys had basically already told Geese.
Damien kind of sits there for a moment, drinking it in. Well, not really drinking it in, but kind of just more so assessing the situation. Because there's an immortal, a high-ranking cleric. Most of the main shepherds are probably in there already. From where I am right now, can I see if any activity is happening over at the entrance where Nymphra is?
Nymphra isn't at the entrance. Nymphra is a little further in. A lot further in. But roll me perception.
Okay. Give me a moment. No, okay.
13.
That's not bad.
You do hear faint echoes of what maybe could be described as combat, but as caves do often distort sound as it carries throughout them, you're not entirely sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think Damien, after kind of realizing that he's just been frozen in place staring at the scene before him, takes a semi-shaky but deep breath and then does one calm, smooth exhale. And with his flock member close behind him, he proceeds to where the cleric and the immortal and Geese are. He doesn't step in to kind of interject the conversation, but he steps close enough to basically wait for their conversation to conclude and make his presence known effectively.
Okay.
Also, when I'm assuming Cece's gonna notice like the anxiety Damien is feeling, as like Damien's taking that deep exhale right before he goes forward, Cece's probably gonna like put like a hand on like his back and be like, "You've like basically kind of like, hey, you got this. I'm right here to help if you need it." And Bardic Inspiration, you have a D8 to use.
Oh, thank you. Hey,
And you
we
did
take
it,
those.
and I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
Good luck.
Yeah. If it's used for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and the roll fails, you get to keep the bardic inspiration die basically until you succeed.
Fantastic. Um, Damien just kind of looks over and he gives you a kind of shaky half smile, as you can tell that there is definitely a lot of tension running through him in this moment. And he says, "Thank you. It's just well, uh, happy to finally have an opportunity to talk with more people from home, and but also I will be honest, I have a shaking feeling with just how things have gone as of recent that I don't know. I haven't really performed uh, what I would deem a satisfactory level as a shepherd, especially as one who is, well, more or less still just an apprentice, and I am just.
At that time, Cece's probably gonna be like, Damien, give yourself a little bit of leeway. After all, not every single Death Shepherd is, and then kind of like leans in really quietly. Deal with the ancient. Currently having to deal with the ancient god of magic, basically putting us on a quest, and also being hunted by arbiters. A lot has happened in less than a few weeks. Give yourself a little bit of a break. You
I
have your
mean,
flock member. He's back. It's
yeah,
okay.
but he also got really banged up. And then I got really messed up in the head, and I didn't take proper care of him like I really thought I should have, and uh,
We can't change the past. Look towards the future. It's okay. Now let's go talk to. And then also Cece's gonna look to the big guy. Like, whoever that is. Which also I will probably have questions for you afterwards because still curious about Death Shepherds. But also I don't think now is the time to ask 20 questions.
well, no, probably not. In all honesty, I'm probably the one who's going to have 20 ask questions asked to. It's kind of the thing that I'm worried about. Um, okay.
All right.
If
The
I pass out, make sure I don't bite my tongue.
all right. The closer you guys approach, you start picking up on the conversation, and you hear this individual start asking Geese about the Death Shepherds that were originally sent here. You hear him mention, "We received word that the higher-ranking Death Shepherd has passed away in these mines. Do you have an approximate idea of where her body may be?" And Geese sort of ponders for a moment and goes, "No, Geese does not remember being told."
Um, okay. I apologize. I was waiting for a more opportune moment to interject, but that I do. I actually do. Um, hello.
Yeah, this guy looks over and rests sort of his darker eyes on you. You guys have met. Oh, Hex. so much background noise from Hex. Sorry. You guys have, the only Death Shepherds you really have met so far are Nemphra, who, I mean, I'd like to think I played her as a little bit of a ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Damien, who we have affectionately described as a necromancer Disney princess. This guy is, I want to say, the first sort of archetypal, like, necromancer. Like, he looks intimidating, imposing. He's wearing black armor. Like, he's got darkened eyes. He's got, you guys see some sort of, some black veins coming up from one of, like, the side of his neck as he turns to look at the both of you. And he does not greet you with a warm face like you've seen from Nemphra and Damien. But yeah, he looks down to you guys with his eyes, or with his darker eyes, and immediately starts picking up on what Damien is. And he goes, And you must be Damien Duroc, correct?
Yes. Damien Drake, Death Shepherd apprentice. And he takes a steep and courteous bow.
He gives a nod to you. I am High Council Shepherd Theomund Grey. You may call me Theo.
Do I know that name, Oko?
Yes. He is a pretty big name in the Death Shepherd cleric sect.
Okay. Alright. As Damien comes up from his bow after a, respectful pause, he comes up and he's eyes wide and he says, it is an honor to make your acquaintance, sir.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I wish it was under better circumstances.
Damien's expression kind of wilts a little bit at the mention of that, but he stands firm and gives a grim nod and he says, yes, as do I. I assume you are familiar with the present situation?
Well, I was the one who received your letter. Now, I
Oh.
did have one in reply, but since you are here, I guess I can give you the information. We are here on order of DevCast and, of course, with the urge of your letter. Thankfully, despite everything happening in Emerillia, we were still able to provide additional aid here. Now, we will make finding your mentor a priority. We will do everything in our power. That being said, knowing how she was trapped and how she passed away would be a great help, and knowing where she's located. Additionally, we'll have to send you back to Vermont, or you mentioned something of a mission. When you are capable of going back to Vermont, we will assess your capabilities as a Death Shepherd, and either reassign you to a new mentor, or promote you up to your first rank.
Damien takes in the information for a moment and he says, of course, I'm happy to do everything that I can to aid you here. And when the time comes, I will more than willingly submit myself to the Death Shepherds for further assessment. But I do presently have matters in which I cannot abandon. But I will still, in this present moment, do what I can to impart upon you the circumstances for what happened here.
Yes. Yes. If you're able to tell me those right now, that would be fantastic. It would be a great help.
Oh. Damien blinks, he's just, you meant literally right now. Okay. Alright. Mornis, are you familiar with the original contract in which Nemphra and I were stationed out here upon?
Sorry, I was reading out of character. Can you say that again?
Are you familiar with the original contract in which Nemphra and I were sent out here upon?
Yes, it was deemed dangerous by previous wet workers, and were at least given by contract one Death Shepherd, one flock, and her apprentice.
Yes. When we had first arrived here, it had seemed that the resources that were sent here were adequate. Again, most of the let's say shallow entrances into the major cave networks out here mostly seem to have forms of scavenger predators. As of which there is, I do not know their precise name, but the most prominent being the colloquial term, the grib. He tries to say it with a straight face as best as he can. Of which I have personally encountered and can attest to the singular, vicious nature of. But I will say that for their credit, they are territorial creatures. But Damien realizes that he is getting caught up in information dumping, and he says, "Pardon me. The point of being is that as we were progressing in expeditions throughout the cave networks, we stumbled across one that had seemingly been a part of an older network. When we had progressed through that network, seemingly from nowhere, earthen elementals emerged from the walls. With great alacrity, quick thinking, and the resolution and bravery I aspire to achieve with myself, Nemphra acted as a Death Shepherd should have. They prevented any unnecessary injury or casualty to our charges, and ensured that only themselves and their flock were sealed within the cave. Upon our exit, we made a makeshift control rod, and as such, we manipulated the stone network to seal off the passage. Of which, on the other side, Nemphra, her flock, and her guardian Echo were encased wherein. The condition of the aforementioned parties I do not know of past that. I did my best to mark the location and place upon it a seal of my will so I could trace it, but the networks out here are rapidly metamorphic, as I'm sure you might have come to know.
Metamorphic? Are they changing?
Very much so. I believe this place carries a heavy affinity with the plane of Earth.
Would explain the earth elementals. That is useful
It has been my
information.
function.
I'll ensure that my charges receive that information. Hopefully nobody gets
Indeed.
trapped or lost in an ever-shifting cave or labyrinth.
The changes seem to be procedural, but as for the phenomena that spawned the golems, I do not know, and I would advise the utmost caution.
Now this mission you mentioned of great interest to Vermod, what is it?
That is something that, if you are willing to humor me, I would rather speak of in more private circumstances.
Very well. The High Cleric has given us stay at the church. Is that comfortable?
Of course. The people at the church are good folk. They've helped me.
He gives a nod and looks down to Geese. Pardon me a moment. And then gestures to you two, to follow him to the church.
Damien follows.
I'm assuming Cece does as well?
Yeah, Cece's here for emotional support. Mind you, he's like, I'm not saying shit because this is not my circus, not my monkeys.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. Alright, point.
I'll say this. For you, Cece, as you watch Damien give his report and actually start acting and doing as a Death Shepherd would in front of him, you notice Damien's posture and stature almost change, and again, kind of this, we'll say, wilting willow as a sort that he has been, miraculously had been replaced for a brief moment with something more of like a proud ash as he assumed the mantle of the shepherd.
Damien went full work mode. Got it.
Yeah, you could tell. It was something that even probably he himself did not notice. But he follows behind the cleric with the utmost reverence.
Alright.
And then, quick question for you, Oko. How many, what rank was Nemphra? I want to say 3.
I have Art of Nemphra somewhere. Sorry. I do apologize. I haven't thought of Nemphra in a while.
Jeez,
been dead.
wish I had that.
Damn.
She
They
was
have
4.
been dead.
It's that easy to kill people, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, she was 4.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Mia was saying with the customer service voice. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right, you guys follow Theo to the church. Just for the sake of brevity, he requests a private room, and the cleric he encounters there nods and provides you guys with a sort of a smaller, cramped space, especially with Theo in his armor. But there is just enough room to get in there, and for there's 2 seats there, so Theo does opt to sit.
Damien. So Theo gestured for Damien to sit.
Theo opts to sit. There is 1 chair left.
Okay. Damien is going to. Yeah, Damien's gonna sit. So, but he doesn't take it immediately. It's just because he does feel a little bit awkward. Like he sits there and you can tell it was a debate in his mind for whatever reason. But he does elect to sit down.
Yeah. As you have that debate, you see he's starting to undo the buckles on his gauntlets, and eventually takes both of them off with a heavy metallic clank. They get set. They get set down beside him there on the floor. So he reaches into one of his pouches and pulls out a notebook and a pen.
All right. Damien looks across him and he says, first and foremost, I wish to know, how proficient are you personally on your spiritual augury?
Sorry, that one fucking stun locked me, the DM. Spiritual augury? Can you translate that one for me?
His ability to basically analyze and divine aspects of the soul.
Yes, okay, sorry. He'll look up to you and say, it's something I can do. Is that required?
Potentially. My own research into it has produced no results. But more or less, the situation at large is very complex and not one that is easy to explain. Know that even what I have is only an extremely small fraction of what is to be understood about any of this. I believe that myself and my compatriots have, by one means or another, been possessed by some form of arch spirit or echo of divine descent.
Yeah, Frank?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Damien would not lie to these people. He's gonna give them the full freaking story. I'm sorry.
No, it's just because the first thing you said was like possessed by, and then basically, and like you did say potentially like a divine spirit or arch spirit, and in CC's head he's like, oh my god, he's gonna give them the whole maybe this isn't a god, maybe what if it's just a poltergeist, and I'm like, please god, no.
Damien's stating the facts as he knows them.
As he believes them. Correct.
Believes them, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Theo sort of he starts writing what you're saying, and then he pauses and looks to you. You believe to be possessed.
In one respect or another. Or transmuted, or, well, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if I can properly understand what is going on to me because I believe the forces at play are beyond that level of comprehension presently.
And what makes you believe to be possessed by the spirit? Did you encounter this spirit?
We went into an ancient ruin. When we originally came here, after Nemphra had given me leave, I had come to learn of an expedition that was being set out to ruins not far off from here. One headed by the prolific Eldred Thorn. I am sure you can understand as to why I did not pass on an opportunity like that. As he had stressed it, it would have potentially world-altering revelations about the very nature of magic itself, as he had placed it. I had agreed to accompany Eldridge and the retinue that he had acquired as an expeditionary team. Nemphra saw it as an opportunity for me to, well, when we had originally spoke of it, before he gestures off to the direction of the mines, and kind of rubs his chin for a moment, before shaking his head and refocusing his thoughts. It was meant to be my first personal undertaking as a shepherd. Upon going to these ruins, we quickly discovered that they were in fact as ancient as previously discussed. In fact, Damien pauses for a moment and leans forward and he says, among the things that we found within those ruins were the remnants of a draconic skeleton.
A dragon skeleton.
Not the
Yes.
dragon, not the dragon.
Damien is talking to his homeland
No.
right now, and he's a goody goddamn two shoes.
It's the only
I'm-
thing we had. It was the only thing we had left.
Oh my god.
No! It's gonna sell
Listen.
that dragon.
Damien
To the
has
scientific
no
community.
reason to distrust the Death Shepherds. And he thinks that if there's anybody who is an authority to know what to do with something like this, it would be them.
All right.
Plus, again, he's been feeling super lost, and right now he's probably had the most prolific person he's had the opportunity to talk to in a long time, so you bet he's just gonna dump everything that he's bottled up till now.
Well, yeah.
He presses forward saying, I personally did an investigation on the skeleton itself, and while it is more or less my assumption, it seemed that it had killed itself there. It had shown signs of gouging at its own flesh. Well,
Did it
there
still-
was no...
Sorry, you said dragon skeleton. Did it still have flesh?
No, that was, well, I mean, bone is hard tissue, and by some argument,
Nice.
he raises his hand. I apologize. Point being, there was evidence of self-inflicted harm, of which only could have been done through one's own means.
See him like scratch something out and then continue writing.
Yes, pardon me. I admit I also I've tried not to retrace these memories for some time. As for what happens next is where things get more complex. Past the point in which we had found the deceased remains of this dragon, we had also found a chamber. This chamber seemed to depict murals indicating some being watching over early mortal kind, manifesting through different means, animals such as deers, birds, and it seems to impart some kind of history. More or less, this history depicts this being approaching mortal kind at different stages and giving unto it pieces of itself, the physical flesh from its body. It is, and I believe, was it on that murals themselves, it had the names of the schools of magic?
Yes, asterisks. It had what could be described as words written in a language that none of you understood until after you all
I was
got...
gonna say, and then we can now speak Aristist language.
Okay.
Yeah. So then
I see.
the schools of magic were then legible to you all on the pillars.
Before the events that transpire, I was unable to decipher them, but afterwards, each of them, to the best of my understanding, were the quite literal names of the houses of magic themselves, each associated with a body part. This correlates to the main point of fact being, Eldred Thorn came in contact with what I can only assume to be a conduit for this Elder Spirit or Grand Echo. Upon coming in contact with it, it seems that this entity invaded Eldred's mind and, I believe, attempted to grant it or fulfill some kind of wish for some kind of exchange. I still do not understand. Eldred very quickly and rapidly began to reverse in years, grow younger, stronger. But also their features became warped, monstrous. Well, he was no longer himself. It seems something was speaking through him. I just want to make sure that I'm not messing this detail up. It did address itself as Aristos, correct?
Oh God, you know how many episodes ago that was?
I know, so...
I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was speaking as Eldred at first.
That sounds right. Retcon it. Just
Speaking
retcon
as
it.
Eldred?
Yeah, I think it was Eldred
Okay.
addressing you all until
Alright.
eventually I think Aristos took over Eldred. I think that's what happened.
Right. It seemed that for a moment he had effectively come under the persuasion in which I and my comrades have. Although with him, his condition seemed unstable. He rapidly began to lose form and begun to lash out, eventually losing control of himself, becoming purely, seemingly a conduit for this entity. Upon which, I cannot recollect much after the fact, as shortly after this entity began to fully manifest through Eldred, I became deceased momentarily.
You catch one of his eyebrows raise for a moment as he continues to write. And one of your party members was able to revert that?
No.
Alright.
That is... I will explain further. As for exactly what transpired in the chamber for the events after I had become deceased momentarily, I don't know. It's well, not precisely a black spot. There is a darkness, but in the time I was dead, or in a state of stasis, more rather, I held counsel with whatever entity this was. Although it was less counsel and more so a spiritual scouring, I would say. A brutal sensation. Didn't like it very much. I guess it would also go for the record and add that in the moment I had assessed that things were going poorly, and in an attempt to protect my allies, I had elected for the avenue of drawing its ire and attention. Which was probably the propellant for my demise, in all things consideration. And as such, the particular entity had some words to say to me about some of the things that I had said to draw its ire. And I will be honest, I can't recall most of the conversation itself, as it burned something into me.
Like
It's
a hot iron brand?
have you ever suffered damage to your very essence? Have you been stricken with something more than what can be inflicted on the mortal core?
Thankfully, as Vermont has known many, many decades of peace now, I have not.
Well, I'm actually quite happy to hear that. It's a gruesome sensation, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But more or less, that is the context of what I can remember that occasion to be. I remember waking up there, confusion, blinding pain, and then when I had awoke, I was slumped against a wall. As my party members recalled the event, I had stitched myself back together. My best approximation is that my physical matter reconstituted itself, with my spiritual self being held in some kind of limbo. And once my physical self was restored, I assume that whatever this entity is just put me back in. I also apparently possess a brand of which only myself or the others can see.
Where is this brand?
Okay.
So-
Hey, friend. This is Delilah D. Deshane, coming at you live, begging you to
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
You're
and
not there!
say, no, Delilah this is above board. Shut the hell up. Shut the fuck up. Buddy.
Oh, all I'm gonna say is he's
Do
just
something.
kept this all to himself this whole time.
Frank,
Alright, I gotta
Frank.
be fucking honest.
do something.
I'm pissing myself, guys. I'm gonna run to the washroom while you guys have this like out of game freak out. BRB.
I need you to shut your mouth. Your mouth needs to be
Holy
shut.
fuck!
The one time I wish they
Listen,
was fucking
listen,
stuck
listen.
together. Jesus Christ.
Damien has nothing but trust and respect for the Death Shepherds.
Here's
And
it's
Surely,
I thought like in CC's head he's like, okay, they're asking, he's like, maybe he'll just like, this dude's a cleric, so maybe he'll just be like, hey, gods are your shtick. Have you ever heard of a god called Aristos? Like, and then just end that conversation if he hasn't. Be like, all right, cool, then we don't have to talk. This is like CC can't step in because it's like I am watching a train wreck happen in real fucking time. He's like, there's nothing I can. Every single time I think I'm gonna be like, okay, I can step in here and stop it. It's just like, nope, never mind. Just
It's too fucking late now. The fucking buddy being like, all I'm gonna say is like everything we ever discovered in the campaign so far. Like, bitch,
Yes.
is that all you're gonna say?
oh my god.
I mean, the fact of the
Um,
matter is Damien's a Death Shepherd first and foremost.
I am waiting for Damien to go, oh, by the way, he wants us to kill magic.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see.
I was like, I'm begging, I'm praying that at some point Theo's gonna step in and be like, and ask a question, be like, please, just to stop the train wreck for like 2 seconds. Ah! Oh my god,
Damien
You're
like
saying
got his
that,
terrible and send him to the damn like asylum. That's the hope,
bro!
right?
Here's the thing: is if it wasn't for the fact that I'm like one fail away from dying, I'd be like, I'll just prove the point and be like, we'll make it easy. There we go. You don't have to know exactly what happens. But let's just say something happened. Now we can do this, and now we gotta. The thing that gave us this, we gotta do some stuff. That's all we gotta say. But we can't, and so because a lot of you doing that, they're like, hey, Damien's like, kill me, I'll come back, I promise.
Wait, Cece, you are
I didn't say
with
that.
Damien right now, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's in the room.
Wow, if only we had somebody who would cut off Damien.
literally, I was like, okay, I shouldn't need to talk here. He'll probably be like, hey, have you heard of like Aristos? Or like, and if no, okay, cool. Well, like it has to do because like, my thing was like, oh, I have so much stuff to say. I was like, hey, we found out about an ancient god, and our mission is basically to find out more about this potential ancient god, and that was end of conversation. I didn't think that we were going to be giving a play-by-play, and by the time I realized, I was like, oh no, and
You
it is
didn't realize
too late.
immediately? You didn't realize when Buddy was just like, oh, I'm gonna start running through all of the event, like verbatim said that.
Damien is a neurotic oversharer, especially when he's worked up.
I'm trying
Like,
to
I'm
I
still.
know.
Oh no, I know you.
The one rule we've learned so far is don't leave the wizards alone together because they talk. Damien, arguably, no offense, buddy, love you, talks a lot.
Literally.
I realized something.
Also,
Can I? Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
not-
Sorry.
I'm just gonna say he's not deceitful by nature.
Yeah. Also, he has been going on today specifically, but the past few sessions of how he doesn't feel like he's living up to the Death Shepherd title, and now he is here with a Death Shepherd, and he's just like, oh boy, oh buddy, I need to tell you the shit I've been going through.
Oh,
He's looking for counsel from a fellow Death Shepherd. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's delicious.
I don't think
it
doesn't
makes
make sense. But doesn't make sense to see.
Okay, can Cece do something that like as soon as like Damien mentions the mark?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool. Cece's casting silence immediately.
Oh.
Can you just like cut him off? Can you just be like, hey, you have something in your teeth, actually, you know? Can we be normal?
You sure you want to do that, buddy?
Yes, because you are giving things. One, first off, nobody can see the mark but us, and also two, Cece's like, Damien, I love you dearly. You are making us sound insane right now, and everything. They'll be like, hey, let's get your whole party here for a second.
I think I've sounded quite logical up until now.
Besides, if you want to, if the guy needs to ask questions, he has a pad, a pen, and a piece of paper, and that's all. That's like you can still talk.
Only we could have learned something about providing too much information to authority figures.
Says the man who says Ashram who drank the Kool-Aid.
Yes. Says the Delilah whose character did this exact thing.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, baby.
As the person who's literally been saying this entire campaign, everyone versus listening to Good challenge, cage match to the death, you all lose.
We are screwed.
All right,
you guys are screwed.
We should have had more babysitters. You saw. I'm just saying.
All right, so Damien goes to mention the mark. Cece casts silence. So all of a sudden, Damien, you're positive you're forcing air out of your body. You're positive that you are talking. You've been doing so effectively for the past few minutes, and suddenly, it's this uncomfortable deafness. Theo pauses in his notes and then looks up to the two of you.
Cece's going to take a step forward and basically like gesture for a pen and a paper.
Theo will, from the back half of his notebook, remove a piece of paper and hand it to you and the pen.
Okay. Cece's going to put down one simple question, and basically this will help decide, like everything. It'll be like, basically, Cece's gonna put, have you heard of Aristos? And that is it. Because it could be boiled down to basically, like, and that's it.
Damien sees that and mouths the words, I was getting there.
Cece looks to Daggers to you, and if it wasn't for the fact that it requires a verbal component, I'm pretty sure he'd use Cloud of Daggers right now and just kill everyone, including himself in the room.
You write down the question and you flip the paper back over towards Theo, and he reads it and shakes his head.
And he just kind of like does the hand gestures, and then mouths the words, "I thought not." Points to his mouth and is like, "Can I talk now?"
Ashram looks over to Jonas at this point and it's just like, I hope Damien is having a good meeting with his superiors. I hope things are going really well for him.
Yeah, like flash to the group. Man, I hope everything's going well over there. Meanwhile, Cece having a legitimate, just like full on panic attack of like, oh my god.
Oh no, this is an extremely cathartic experience for Damien.
Yona's looking back at Delilah or Ashram mouthing, "I'm on the phone with my boss."
All right.
1 second.
Okay.
All right.
I
love Frank going through the fucking 5 stages of grief.
There's like, because I'm trying to think of like ways that Cece can like discuss and like there's so many worms, like can of worms that have been opened and impossible to close now.
Hey,
and like,
hey, Talkie Bar,
but also,
you gonna get ready to get real talky? Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god.
I'm loving it.
Cece's, oh god. Cece's going to, I know I cast silence. Am I able to like remove that early?
Yeah,
or is
I'm
it
pretty
like,
sure you can end it early.
Okay. I'm going to end it and put my hand up immediately to Damien and be like, looked at Theo, I was like, apologies about the sudden stop. If I could just step in for a moment, because there's a few things. One, I am part of the party that was there when Damien was off of this mortal coil, as well as I'd like to clarify a few different things.
Yes, this is my associate, a trusted friend of mine and companion.
Damien talking alone is making Cece's eye twitch. He's like, I'm gonna kill him. Slowly
please.
trying to like hold back cloud of daggers.
Please, yes. Speak. Add additional information.
To make this, there's a lot of information you can do with what you will, but to make a long story short, we were asked to go on an excursion to basically look in history that is no longer written. We have found an entity of part of that history, and we were strongly suggested to assist on that.
Yes, it is.
While I'm sure Damien here would love to tell you everything until the sun goes down, one, and I looked at Damien, is everything relevant?
It's my curse too.
No.
Curse.
Is everything relevant? And two,
I would say, particularly for my present points and concerns, yes, this is the matter of the soul I'm talking about here.
I will say this one thing. Damien, I love you dearly. A lot of what you're putting forward as truth of you is theories that you have because, and I looked at Theo, this is in regards to magics that we do not fully comprehend.
That's the point I made, yes.
Anyway, we're currently on excursion to basically find the portions of him that we believe are somewhere in this realm.
The
better understand our present affliction.
Relieving parts of his body to mortals, as mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Damien gestures in the affirmative.
Do you happen to remember what each part was?
I do. May I ask why the sudden interest? I'm fine to discuss this if you're willing to assist us, but we have had experience in the past with explanations of things causing, let's say, a little bit of heat and a little bit of tension under the collar, as it were, to put it easily.
One member of my ranks is in need of assistance. if there is any information, any theories, any ideas that I can provide, I would like to.
Thank you.
What is it that they need assistance with?
He's talking about Damien, you dunce.
Oh, I thought he was talking about. My bad. I thought he was talking.
No.
I thought he was talking about like part of the people that are in the cave. I don't know. Maybe there's a person who like can't see who really wants an eyeball right now. I don't know, man.
You know what? Damien Scott's just like, I need assistance. I've needed assistance the past 2 months. I've needed assistance since Nymphra's been gone. I have been bereft of guidance this entire time. So if you would please, I would like to have this opportunity to speak with my peer and actually get a better assessment of what is going on.
Cece stands up and is going to be like, I'll stay in the room. And then he looks over to Damien and says, and he looks to Damien and says, remember, facts, not theory.
Well, yes. I am clearly stating what I believe is my personal opinions, and which is the absolute fact. I am an academic, after all.
At the mention of absolute fact, CC is just gonna kind of blink and be like, there is no absolute fact currently, as we've already discussed.
So he looks over and he says, so points of fact. I mean, he looks over at CC again before he starts talking. And then he looks back. So yes, it has influenced each of us in different and unique ways, in ways that I myself have not been able to trace. And we have been suggested, but not enthralled to do so, as to the best of my understanding, to seek out these pieces of what it believes to be its previous flesh. Yes.
So, before being silenced, I asked you, where is this mark? Where is this brand?
Damien's face gets tight for a moment and he says, in, I assume, a gesture of mockery, they have been placed across my ribs. I could attempt to show you, they are visible to me, but I do not know if you would be able to perceive them.
If that is something you're comfortable with.
Most assured. Damien kind of takes off some of the bangles on his kind of robe situation, and then slowly lifts up his shirt to expose the ribs. And again, Damien looks down and checks for himself.
They are there for you, yep. Theo stays in his seat, hand on notebook and pen, and just looks. But you can tell that he's not seeing what you're seeing.
Damien nods and he just says, and most people perceive it as just such. I do not know if presently there is a certain means to perceive it outside of that, but it seems to be directly linked to whatever is influencing us. As he tucks the shirt down, it, to my best estimation, seems to be a kind of signature, mark, or link. Since that event, I personally, in my own experiences, would recite that this metaphysical mutation that has transpired upon me, or affliction, has temporarily granted me some form of, well, restorative immortality. I, since my incursion into the cave, have died on, he thinks for a second, 2 more occasions. And I have been completely restored after being functionally deceased both times.
And you said that this manifested uniquely in each of your party members?
Yes. I do not know precisely how it has influenced each of them. And so far we haven't really shared much about it and how it has afflicted us with each of us. I have Damien pulls out his grimoire and some pieces of parchment and opens up to the pages in which it shows all of the diagrams and arcane algebra for his spell Soul Gaze. And he presents it to the middle of the table there. And he says, following some of our school's doctrines and a few of our theories, I have more or less cobbled together this spell to perform an analysis upon one's soul. While it has proven effective to do exactly as that and measures one's spiritual strength and potentially any abnormalities afflicting them, it seemingly is incapable of tracing or detecting whatever influence is presented by this my brain, guy's name, Spectre Man.
Aristos?
Aristas, yeah, there we go. I was thinking of Storius, and that wasn't right. Seemingly, this is the manifestation of Aristos' influence in one way or another. I do not know how far the influence spans, and I do not know how to trace it. I've done to the best of my ability to monitor the situation and ensure that, well, we are as well and whole as we can be. And Damien scratches the side of his head. As perplexing and frustrating it is to admit, as far as I can tell, we are. If there are any personal tests you wish to scrutinize with, I am open to that, or if you would like to assess some of my notes for my personal cases, I will not relinquish any information pertaining to what I have taken to my esteemed colleagues here. But I will voluntarily...
No. This is a lot to take in.
Yes. Damien nods in a vigorous affirmative.
You mentioned
Precisely.
that the ruins are nearby.
Yes, about a couple of away.
If I were to produce a map, would you be able to mark down where they are?
Did Damien ever see the location marked down on the map previously?
I'm gonna say you guys had a lot of trouble with Eldred, possibly. But also, Damien canonically gets lost easy, so can he even read a map?
Yeah, he doesn't even have like a good. He stares at it for a minute, and he says, "I can't recognize any of this geography. I am sorry. None of this looks familiar to me."
Would any of your other party members be able to locate the ruins on the map?
If you say ashram, so help me God. So help me God, I will find your location in real life.
To the best of my estimation, I cannot recollect. As the events that had transpired, things have not been simple for us for even a few moments preceding that. We have effectively been in one state of crisis all the way up until this very conversation, more or less.
I see. I asked earlier, but was not mentioned. Do you happen to remember the pieces you're looking for?
As for my present recollection, the articles were the eye's heart, I believe a graft of skin, one of the ones in which I immediately drew to our attention one was prominently a skull.
His eyebrow sort of raises.
Damien, when he says a skull, he gives the cleric a knowing look and a small nod. And
Sorry, I love watching Frank freak out.
Eat my shirts. It was the heart, it was the skin, it was the eyes.
There were hands.
Was it a hand?
Let Buddy remember this.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm trying here. The blood, that was another component, right? No, well, I guess that doesn't really mean much to you to say that. He actually, Damien smacks his forehead. I myself did not neglect to wait. I might have in my ancient notes, but Damien would have been smart enough to actually take notes. So if the information isn't,
If Damien would have been smart enough to take notes, checked the pinned messages in out of character chat.
I forget that these things even have pins.
It's literally like the most recent pin.
Okay. No, I forget Discord even has this system. Yes. The eyes, the skull, grafts of flesh, blood, hand, finger, and there was another one, but that mural was defaced. It was impossible to discern what was imparted as the significant, well, part of holy flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
The skull. Do you remember the School of Magic?
It was
Oh my-
denoted as necromancy, yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Frank's turning inside out.
Listen, you could literally, any Death Shepherd could hear that and they would be able to draw that conclusion. That's all I'm going to say, alright?
He continues writing those last few notes in his notebook before closing it and placing it back in his pouch. Vermod has many spiritual, mental healers, many oracles, and those proficient with older forms of arcane. I would recommend returning home at your earliest convenience. Not only for us to assess your abilities as a Death Shepherd, but you might be able to find some answers there.
I will do so once I am able, but with all due respect, and again he gives a slight bow, I must stay with my charges. I have taken upon myself to ensure that their safety, and especially given our certain circumstances, we need a specialist on the soul and metaphysical self present at every stage in this. But I will do everything in my power outside of that to make it home as soon as I can. I do believe that you are right. I would like to get this looked at by specialists from home.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I believe the libraries of Vermod may perchance hold fragments of this broken history. The entity expressed that they felt forgotten, that they had a following, and once they had weakened themselves enough, they had fallen into a slumber to restore their strength. I believe it may be imperative to start scouring the archives for ancient lore, particularly things that may have fallen into folklore. But that is, Damien shakes his head, most likely an undertaking that I shall try to take care of when I get home. But as it stands,
The libraries
I
and
cannot-
archives of Vermod are ancient as well, and hold knowledge from Vermod's conception as preserved and well taken care of as our people. I understand that you need to do some things first, but I do highly recommend you return to Vermod as early as you can.
as soon as I'm able. Damien looks up and he says, I apologize, but I don't know the next time I'll be back, but if you could, if business makes it to where I can't be here when you recover Nemphra, I would ask that, for the time being, well, first and foremost, leave some kind of notice should you depart after, but until I am ready, I would much rather that their remains be respectfully returned to Vermont.
Was going to be our priority.
Damien breathes a sigh of relief, and he says, "Thank you. Thank you very much. And please, if you are able, if Echo is able to be recovered, I've worried about them terribly for this entire time. If it is possible, please, I would like to know if they are safe as well. If the opportunity allows."
Yes. We will return both home, no matter the condition.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you allowing me to seek your counsel in these matters. They have been a burden on my mind for quite some time.
I could tell. And thank you for sharing them with me. But I must go back and see to my charges. And he will stand up and pick the gauntlets up off the floor again.
Can I do an inside check on him before we leave? After Damien spilled the beans on literally everything.
Yeah, roll me an insight.
Yay.
What are you trying to suss out?
I'm trying to suss out kind of two things. One, considering that he really wants to know this location, and Damien says that they're getting a mission, I have a very sneaky suspicion that we might end up being followed to find said location potentially. As well as just to kind of see, like, if he believes Damien or if there's any, like, potential, like, underlying dastardly ideas that they may have.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Damien trusts these guys.
You just told him that their literal leader has one of the pieces of the guy that we are being asked to retrieve, which means you would need to take it away from said leader.
We didn't say that. We never once mentioned the whole taking magic away thing.
No, but you mentioned that they're asking for their body parts back.
They had said that to seek them out. I was very careful with my wording.
Never mind, I don't see shit because my insight's gone.
Eyes full of dicks. That is a 10 on the insight.
We're so cooked, chat. We're so cooked.
We're not.
Oh, I forgot to turn on the fucking redeems. The D&D redeems.
Damn.
Brief interlude.
Slacking.
The DN redeems.
I am slacking. I'm actually like the worst streamer in DM.
Incorrect.
Worst VTuber
You're only
2021.
one of those things. I will not say which one. No. You are at a maximum of
Terrible
0.
DM. Got it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
that's the one. You got it.
Yeah. I gotta turn on the Nightblood timer too. There we go. Got it. Saved it. We're only halfway through stream. So yes, with a 10 insight, CC, your emotions are fucking fried. Like you're all over the fucking place. You don't know if it's paranoia or anything, but you just assume the worst intentions. You've never met Theo before in your fucking life. And Damien just fucking trauma dumped everything on his fucking mind. You're just like, holy fucking shit, this is gonna turn out terribly.
It makes it worse because that's my IRL feeling right now. Ah! Pain and suffering. We're in Spain without the S.
Or maybe the Death Shepherds are just super cool and chill. You know, you don't know.
I don't know. Seeing a Goliath and a cleric necromancer in all black doesn't give chill vibes.
the people who animate the dead, who willfully signed up for it, are obviously evil. Oh yeah, sure, they wear all black. Yeah, sure, yeah, they must be
I never
evil,
said
yeah.
evil. They just don't seem chill by any
Oh
stretch
my
of the imagination.
God. You're such a
Question,
magus.
actually.
What was that?
Just remembering. Just remembering, didn't 3, the Arbiter, also kind of just turn the dead Arbiter into her charge? Essentially?
That's different. That's not our necromancy. That's bad
How do you
necromancy.
know
Uh-huh.
that?
Actually,
She was an ass.
we
Yeah.
actually don't even know what that was because that might
That's
not have even been
necromancy with a
necromancy.
K,
How do you
obviously.
know
That's
that?
one of the bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are right.
How about we take our break so that you guys can fucking go feral for 10 minutes?
I mean, yeah. Hold on. People want to start throwing tomatoes. Go ahead.
Let's
15 minutes of cock and ball torture that was. It was awful.
all right, so it is currently 10:23 Eastern Standard. Let's come back at 10:33, 35. I dropped a can. Eastern Standard. But yeah. Bye. And we are back.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
Oh,
Alright.
oh my god.
So let's leave that situation. Pin going off on a solo adventure. So you're just sort of meandering around. Do you have any goals in mind?
It'll be quick. Not particular. Whatever that was. It'll be quick.
Oh
Not
my.
particularly. I was just, if I could just roll an investigation and see if there are any, like, interesting things about town that we didn't notice last time. Like, any sort of changed features, any rumors, etc., etc. Let's just do something. Let's fill the time.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
Understood. 24.
Ooh, not bad at all.
God damn.
So you sort of start walking around the. I've got to turn this music, pardon me, down because it is very loud. Oh my god, I don't know what I did to roll 20 to be incredibly slow, but like I need to undo it. Holy
That was
crap.
the most hollow announcing of a 24 I've ever heard.
I think Mio's feeling very drained.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you start walking around and just trying to investigate around. You go back to outside of the Stonefruit Tavern, recalling the night that hold on. Recalling the night that you guys fled Ainsborough via teleportation, leaving one of the oxen, or leaving the only ox attached to the wagon here because of the limits of the teleportation circle. And you remember daggers being thrown at your guys' location. You look around to see if there's any evidence of daggers hitting any of the surrounding buildings, maybe the beams of the tavern, and you don't see any evidence of that. You don't even see any evidence of the teleportation circle that Ashram conjured up in order to get you guys quickly out of Ainsborough. Let's see. You continue to walk around. There's conversation and dialogue, particularly for the Death Shepherds that have come to Ainsborough. This many. You hear people talking about, the 2 Death Shepherds that had shown up previously with a very small flock, but then suddenly there's this large number of undead now in Ainsborough, in the mines. You hear some people thankful that they're here to clean out whatever's in the mines to, make it safe for people to go back to work. Remarking that if it wasn't for the universal basic income that the sovereign provides, they would probably be in a tight spot. But then you also overhear some people who are very against this heavy presence of undead. Particularly, you hear a gruff, older, masculine voice complaining about, this stain, this insult to the respect and reverence that bodies deserve, that people deserve with their passing. And this older sounding woman who sort of, no, I can't believe, in our town, with the church to the Dawnbringer, to the church of Solentis, banisher of undead, and yet they are here, sullying these lands. What else? You hear people talking about the estate up the road that was set on fire a few nights ago. What could have caused it? Thankfully, the surrounding forest didn't catch fire. That would have been devastating for the town. One loose spark set forest to the to set fire to the forest, that would have quickly come down here and set fire to the rest of the town. no matter, or whatever it caused it, whatever ended it, it was very much. Hi, Mystic. She's like sniffling into the microphone, poor thing. It was very controlled, and it's eerily so. There's people saying that like it was a targeted hit. There are people saying that maybe a passerby, or maybe the wet workers that suddenly have vanished. You suspect possibly they mean you guys, were the cause for it being taken care of quickly and effectively. But yeah, that's kind of what you got going on.
I see. Tis interesting to see the horrid effects that our existence and Inventors is having on mundane life. Surely this will not continue to happen. Yeah, I think that's essentially, they got what they needed. A good walk, as things are getting infinitely worse over at that church, and they have no idea.
Or
Yoda's,
infinitely
go
better,
forth.
you don't know.
I do know, actually. I do know, actually. I do know, actually.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Pin just
The
feeling
voices.
something's gone wrong.
Hold on, you know what?
It's
Do
just
they feel something's gone wrong? What did I get?
In what regard?
With a 13, do I sense a disturbance in the forest? Do I just sense that someone is doing something very stupid?
You know, there's
Even if you did, that's business as usual.
there's a,
Yeah,
a
literally, what else to
small
do?
sense of uneasiness.
Okay,
I love
yeah.
you, but you gotta lay your ass down, cat.
Which, of course, they could attribute to just the general civil unrest in the presence of this undead, and also the sudden burnings and disappearances. I'm sure that would get the public riled up. Okay. It's fine. All is fine. They'll start heading back to the cart. Yodis, go talk to your boss. Go have your Zoom call.
Yo.
I was just gonna say, Aristos whispering in Pin's ear. Oh, get the twink. He's screwing it up.
Please, please.
So, very specifically waiting until CC is away, Jonas will conjure up his usual orb, because I get create water for being a fish.
Fibs.
I'm gonna do my usual hi hellos.
Hi.
Okay. So yeah, you conjure up the orb. Do you say hello? Like that's the vibe I'm getting.
Just kind of testing the water. Doesn't really want to. Pun unintended. Very specifically, just kind of not wanting to outright say hi, boss, while D is or Asherim is just right behind me. We're kind of gauging whether or not the Ravenous is paying attention.
You get that cold creeping sensation on the back of your neck and your skull as you concentrate on the orb.
Situation's a bit complicated, isn't it?
When isn't it?
When there's only one god in your head. I realize, I understand that we both need to eat, but we really ought to find a better source.
Oh,
I need my
yes.
companions in working order.
Maybe you should be more social then.
Yeah? That's the issue, huh?
Well, when there's only slim pickings nearby, what do you expect me to do? And also, he looked at me first.
Yeah.
This is not
I
the
did
people.
try to warn him. Anyway, that's not why I'm here. Listen, I realize this is probably a breach of privacy, but it is my arm in question, and I was quite attached to it. How's your little merry band faring on their end?
No complaints thus far. They're still traveling, however.
Taking the long road. Why?
Less resources. I imagine. I don't know. Why? Do you have regrets not going with them?
I have regrets in how things ended.
No. Losing more and more people close to you, surrounding you. Are you worried that that might extend to anybody else?
I feel that's a reasonable worry in my circumstances. How's the tiefling?
The tiefling. Why must you know? Why do you want to know?
Friend of mine.
I don't know. She's alive.
Yeah, gathered that. You don't keep such a close eye on them as us. Or you're just disinclined to share.
Might be a bit of a column A, might be a bit of column B. Why, are you saddened to know that you might be my favorite?
I don't see what use you have left for me.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear that one, Hex. What was that?
I don't see what use you have left for me. Backup plan.
Backup plan if they screw up, if they don't make it. At least I know that there's more of you.
There's a lot more where I come from. Father got around.
Yes, but you specifically managed to escape him.
I'm not unappreciative of what I've been granted in this situation. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you can just say that you care about me. I'm glad that you're shying away from whatever that was.
Don't get too comfy in it. We're still headed back there, but keeping them at arm's length is the plan.
Good. Keep it up. I told you, it's dangerous. And that delightful little vision you got last night is only a start.
I got the impression it, I don't know, frightened you?
Me? No. No. The idea of... well... no.
Slinking away back into your little hole.
I enjoy this newfound confidence, but don't forget who's in charge.
You made me sleep in a graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to forget.
If there's no other questions,
You aren't worried
about what?
what hunts us?
Oh, the ones you call arbiters.
Your gift is weakened by them.
They're not after you. However, I do believe your plans to return to Kelpsa are foolish, at best.
I had considered that.
And of course, returning to this. I do apologize. I know that at least chat and the VOD can hear Mystic just sneezing under the microphone constantly. Yes, your choice to constantly return to the snake den in the middle of nowhere. You've been attacked by arbiters. How many times? You were just
You'll
attacked
forgive.
or greeted or interacted with arbiters yesterday. Well, in this town.
If it was up to
Don't
If it was up to
spend
me, I
too
would
much
have given
time.
this. I would have given this place a wide berth if it was up to me, but I don't know any other roads to the temple. I can't exactly speed us along. There's no quick hop between one pond and another.
Just don't spend another night here.
Don't plan on it. He sort of wrinkles his face up and forces out a thank you.
You know a better way to thank me. And if you're not gonna let me feed on your friends, get social. And then, their presence vanishes.
Well, not one to waste anything. I'm gonna take out my kettle and fill it with the water.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright. I say maybe around this point, Cece and Damien can leave the church. Are you guys heading back to the caravan?
Yeah, I was gonna say I would assume by that time we're just kind of already like walking almost up to the caravan at that point.
Yeah.
Can I do
Yeah.
something before then?
Sure.
While Jonas is doing that.
Yeah.
I think Ashram has been spending a lot of this quiet time because I feel like a lot of that maybe happened in Jonas's head.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashram is just kind of checking out the cart and walking around it and making little repairs and just doing what he can to kind of keep himself occupied.
Mhm.
And when that runs out, because there's not a lot, because the cart, I mean, the only real problem with it was the welds, and like that's fine.
There's little sword holes in
and-
the floor everywhere.
and Ken did a great job with that. Yeah, but there's not really so much he can do about the sword holes. So I think eventually he just kind of sits down in his bunk.
You're just doing like
And-
a quick walk around of the cart? Of the caravan?
Yeah, I think a little bit of a walk around, and then back into the cart
Okay.
or into the caravan.
I was just going to determine whether or
and-
not I should get you to roll an investigation roll.
If you want me to, I can absolutely do
Only
that.
if you're doing like a more in-depth, like...
Sure, I think it's mostly him trying to distract himself.
Yeah.
But I think I will do that. Investigation. That's a roll.
That's an 8. Yeah,
That's an 8.
you do a quick once around. You inspect the welds that Pin made. You mutter under your breath at the sword holes in the floor. But yeah, the cart looks the caravan looks very caravan-like.
Okay. And I think after this, it doesn't take very long for him to run out of distractions, and his mind keeps whirling on the stuff with Erastus and
Aristos.
or Aristos. Sorry.
I just didn't know if it was like you pronounce katana Catania. Like
No, not on purpose. That was not
Okay,
on purpose.
okay.
Not this time. And I think eventually he just kind of sits down on his bunk and he sort of touches the ink on his chest. And I think he tries to make a connection with Aristos.
Ooh, okay.
To see if he can get some kind of communication going.
Okay.
Because shit is getting out of hand and he needs to have a conversation. I don't know if he can do that, but he's gonna try. He's gonna try to focus on it.
Give me a moment.
Sure. This was definitely not an excuse to get Jer on stream, I promise.
Let's go, Jer time! Also, Jonas, a real homie, being like, hey, my friend wants to know about this person who's ghosted him. Any information? And then the Ravenous just be like, they're alive. I don't give a fuck. What do you...
What's it to you, weather boy?
Exactly. What do you care, weather boy? Holy shit.
Lord. Uh-oh.
Let's go!
Uh-oh, I made mistakes.
Have you?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Do you want
Hi,
to
Jer.
drag us, or is this? How do you want to deal with this?
Yeah, this is this is Ash and Aristos one-on-one time. So let's
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
let's make this one-on-one time. BRB, guys.
Yay, you did it!
Oh.
You good, babe?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hello.
So yeah, basically, where we left off is Ash is, I'm assuming, alone in his bunk in the caravan, and is trying to make a connection with Aristos through the weave by tracing the lines of his curse mark. I was going to ask the wizard to roll an Arcana check, but I'm pretty sure Ash has like a fucking plus 15 in Arcana, so that would have been foolish.
I think it's +9, but yeah, that's fair. It's pretty high.
It's redonk.
Yeah, it's my stat.
Yeah. All right.
As you trace
And-
the outlines of your, as you trace the outlines of the curse mark, you begin to hear a faint echo coming.
sounds like it's coming from between the boards on the, next to your bunk. And that echo turns into a whisper and then into a soft voice, though one you recognize. Yes, Ashram.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if I thought I would get this far.
We surprise ourselves sometimes.
I feel like things are getting out of hand.
Out of hand. Getting. Things have already gotten out of hand. This is the correction.
To say that I was blindsided on our first interaction is I would say, an understatement. And I want to try to put forward some manner of defense for the use of magic in this world. And I don't know how you work as an entity. I don't know what you can see and what you can't. And what Ashram is going to do is
Let me give you a little bit of information. Let me help flesh out your understanding of me and what I am and am not aware of. When I told you that I sundered myself to give you the weave, I am intrinsically linked with it. If there is anything that is connected to the weave that you or any of those who were never meant to have it exercise, you do so through me. I feel every spell, every curse, every wish, every conspiracy. And so, to head off your point, I will save you the breath. There have been far more eloquent people than you who have a far deeper breadth of knowledge than you, who have attempted and failed to sway my opinion. Let me posit a situation to you. You are an instructor, and you are instructing a group of pupils on the use of magic wands. You hand the wands out to the class, and you tell them to push their will through the wand and to hit the target with a magic missile. And the first few line up, and they do quite well. Honestly, they show far more promise than you ever expected. But then you can see one of the kids has got a mean streak and begins hurling magic missiles at the other students. Then others join in, and before long, you have to explain to parents why their children are coming home wounded and bleeding. But there is a positive use for magic missile in the world, isn't there? Or should you have taken the wands from those children before they had the chance to do that kind of damage? I am rescinding my gift because, like the children, you have shown yourselves not ready to accept it. It was too much. I made it so that your reach exceeded your grasp. And that was my mistake, one that I plan to rectify.
When he says the line about having the breadth of knowledge, do I believe that? Like,
You do not get any sense of you don't think he's lying to you. There's a part of Ashram's like, someone who knows more than me, unfucking likely. And then you start to think
Yeah.
back and you're like, wait a second, if this guy's as old as he says he is, okay, yeah, no, maybe there have been a couple like 1,000-year-old elves who've tried to talk him out of this, and maybe not.
Sure. What I'm thinking is like the way he described like a kid getting a wand, using it to cast magic missile, and then going home to their children. I feel
Going home
like
to their parents.
their parents, yeah. I feel like that sounds like a very old world version of Kelpsa, because the current way the academy works, that just doesn't happen. Like, they don't go home.
What's your what's your insight?
My insight, I also think, is pretty good. And I don't know if that was just Jer, doing the thing, or if that was him legitimately not knowing. That's what I'm trying to come up with.
What's your
my insight is a +6.
So your passive insight is 16?
Yes.
Aristos was giving you a metaphor you would understand.
Okay, yeah.
He was not actively describing how the Loxodon Institute of the Arcane handles things.
Right. Okay. I figured that might be the case, but I wanted to just be safe before I start going through things. I think Ashram just sort of, he tries his best in this link to impart all of the positives that he has personally seen magic do for people. And he doesn't know if it outweighs the negatives. Like, not verbally, because he knows that in a verbal situation he just cannot keep up with this guy, with this god. But he just tries to push the life-saving magical medicines and all of the industry that's been created, and just all of the good shit that he can.
Okay. All right. Aristos chuckles a little bit. Oh. So you want to see? You want me to see all of the good that has come from magic? Well, Ashram Var.
I try to cut the connection. I know what's coming.
Allow me to show you. You cannot cut it. He is now screaming down the halls of your mind. It echoes around the bounds of your skull as images of the most horrific magical experiments that you have ever seen. The creation of the arbiters is one of those processes that you get brief flashes of, that is a horrific, painful magical transition that is forced onto a person, because there is no way a sane individual would willingly undergo this.
Okay. This is horrific.
You are hit with 5 levels of exhaustion. It will take you.
God.
you are nearly dead from your experience as the wave of anguish and lament washes over you on a scale you have never experienced. The pain that you thought you felt when you lost, what was your partner's name again? Emmerich, is but a drop in a sea of tears shed by mothers and daughters and fathers and sons for those close to them that never came home, or worse, came home very, very different. And that is the end of your interaction with Aristos.
I think Ashram is just comatose in bed.
Yeah,
For the
level
foreseeable
5
future.
exhaustion. Your speed's reduced to 0.
Yeah.
Six is fatal, right?
6
Six
is
is
death.
fatal.
6 is death? Okay, yeah, no. It literally takes you to death's doorstep.
Okay, but hear me out. But hear me out though. I have keen mind. How much of the creation of the arbiters can I remember? Let's fucking go, baby!
One moment.
Let's fucking go, baby! We in there. I think I might have gotten something. This was really fucked, and I think overall it's a bad situation, but I might have got a nugget of goodness out of it. Oh. Oh, everyone. Oh, no one's talking. I'm a little nervous now.
Sorry, we're consulting. We're looking
Oh
over
yeah,
some
you're
rules. Give
fine.
me one moment.
I'm just entertaining stream right now. Yeah. Maybe I got something good out of this. Oh boy. And you all can get more content just like this every other week. Well, actually every week, because Amarillia Murders is the opposite weeks from us. Right here on Okomie's Twitch page. Yeah. Twitch page. Every week. Unless there's LARPing to do. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh. 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 I'm so terrified. I'm so scared. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
All right, Ashram. Actually, can you bring up Keen Mind again?
Sure.
Was
Keen Mind. A wonderful little feat brought to us by the friends at Wizards of the Coast.
All right. So this is one of those uniquely horrible circumstances where what you thought was a good thing actually turns out to be a bad thing. So
Oh, great.
you can accurately recall anything you've seen in the past month.
Uh-huh.
For the next month, your sleep will be interrupted.
Fuck.
You will have to choose one spell level to not get back, and you will not get back that spell level on a long rest.
Like all of the spells of that level.
No, one spell of any level, and you will not
Oh.
get that spell back.
Okay, so just
You are
a spell
permanently
slot.
down one spell slot until you can either find a way to cleanse what you have seen, or
the month is up. Oh
or
no!
or it has been long enough that you just can't remember it.
But keen mind means I always know which way is north. So I
Yeah.
think it works out. I think it works out.
All right.
Okay, but do I remember like anything useful? Like literally anything.
Unfortunately not. It was a deluge of horror that you were utterly unprepared for. Perhaps after you've had some time to fit together some pieces externally and work through those things and put some pieces together, they're disjointed fragments and still images.
That being
It's-
said, mark on your character sheet haunting visions, because that will give you opportunities to decipher more things about arcane and whatnot because of the visions that you've experienced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a skill of some kind?
I will come
or-
up with a full proper write-up with it later. Just put it on your sheet for now, haunting visions.
Okay.
I'll get
I'll
back
put
to
it
you.
in my features.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Oh, that was awful. Thank you, Jer.
You're welcome, D. Love you, sweetie.
Oh, yeah, love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god, and you guys wanted him. You guys celebrated a bit of character chat. Chair time!
Listen. We made mistakes. Mistakes were made.
Yeah. I just gotta remind you, I'm a very kind DM.
Yeah.
And Jer is not. Thanks.
Alright, I'm gonna pop you back down in the game tab.
All right,
Oh,
I am
boy.
I am now a dragon made of fire and light. I am unstoppable. My power is great. No, Ashram does not come out of his bunk for the foreseeable future.
I'm actually gonna say Ashram probably let out pained screams from his bunk.
Yes. 100%. There was a lot of very loud. I'm not gonna do it because Margaret's asleep, but
Yes,
like very
please.
loud no's and stops and not Christ because he doesn't exist in this world. And gods and just every expletive you can imagine at top volume.
Damien immediately starts sprinted over that way.
And I think, and the first person that sees him, he is literally seizing in his bunk, foaming at the mouth. Like full convulsions.
Holy shit. Okay, well, I don't know if I'm the first one there, but...
Jonas would probably be the first. Well, Jonas is in the caravan at the moment, so if Jonas decided to go check on Ash, Jonas would be the first one.
Do I want to?
Our old wizard friend is currently what appears to be having a stroke. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I guess Jonas just minds his own damn business.
It's just like, oh, that's rough, buddy.
I'm trying to rationalize whether or not he would.
Just shuts
What?
curtains and
Ashram's
walks
being
away.
hunted by the arbiters, these people who have been known to sneak into, places and has already made several attempts on Ashram's life. And as he's screaming for help and screaming no, you know what? Nah, fuck him.
You guys know the meme of like Squidward like tanning like with the little mirror thing, and he like pulls up his glasses and puts them back on.
Yeah.
Like that's literally
No.
what it is.
I guess if you guys,
I think he very much does immediately go, oh shit, and check that out. But it's just like the little part of my brain that says, the Ravenous did just say.
all right. Specifically, Jonas, you do not feel satisfied from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, you find Ashram as Dee described. Damien starts sprinting for the caravan immediately.
Yep.
Cece?
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, that. I'm going to be also being like, what in the hell is going on? And probably just like running behind Damien because CC, even though CC's pissed at Damien, CC understands that Damien is like the actual healer, and other than being CC being like, oh dang, not a scratch, go. Damien is the one who kind of should lead that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before they get there, Jonas, do you do anything?
I think he's just fucking dumbfounded. He has no idea what to do in this kind of situation. He is not. I think there's a moment of realization that he is not built to help people.
Okay. So yes, as you were trying to assess the situation and trying to think of what in your skill set, in your arsenal that you could provide, that is when Damien first is the one to get through the doors of the caravan and running up the steps, and Cece close behind him. Damien, you see Jonas with the curtain drawn back on Ashram's bunk, looking in on your wizard friend.
What's going on? What's wrong with Ashram? Damien quickly hurries over and draws back the curtain.
I am going to take a big heckin' step out of the way.
I'll say probably at this point, Ashram's not screaming so much anymore, but foaming at the mouth, as Dee described. Maybe the body is convulsing less now at this point. And your fingers are wrapped tightly in your hair on either side of your head as you're still trying to fathom everything that you just saw.
I think there is objectively more white in his hair. Well, I guess his hair's dyed, but like, I think like where some of the dye is
when it starts to grow out, I guess we'll see that.
Yeah. He looks like he's had the flu for probably like 3 months.
Oh yeah, notably gaunt, pale, trembling.
And his eyes are just completely wild, not focusing on anyone or anything. And he can't talk. He cannot speak. Not at first.
He's not responsive to your questions.
Right. So in the first few moments, Damien puts both of his hands on Ashram, one on his chest and one on his forehead, and then very quickly just bada boom.
Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'm sending something to Delili.
Okay. Okie dokie.
But
I have.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I had that pulled up immediately. It's bad.
Oh, yes, identify anatomy. Okay, you learn how the body is supposed to be structured, blah, blah, blah. Ashram is unwell. Ashram is almost knocking on death's door. He is not as strong as he's supposed to be. He is not as healthy as he's supposed to be. He reads to you like somebody who hasn't slept in months. On an out-of-game level, Ash was hit with level 5 exhaustion.
Yeah. It's real bad out there, folks.
For those who don't know at home, level 6 is death.
I see. Okay. So with that, and while I know that this narratively or mechanically probably isn't going to do anything, but narratively, Damien is going to pull one of the vials from a holder from somewhere behind him in his robe, and pulls out one of the vials of essence. And he is going to, with one hand, hold it over Ashram's chest, and with the other, he is going to draw the stopper out of it, releasing the essence. And with his will, he's going to guide it down and into Ashram. For point of reference, this vial contained 12 hit points worth of life essence.
Mhm.
And he is basically going to settle it down into Ashram's body to effectively stabilize his physical condition. He can't undo whatever entropy has wrought to it, but he can at least secure Ashram's immediate safety.
So I don't think you would pick up on this, or at least unless you're still identifying anatomy. It doesn't do anything because technically Ashram is full hit points. The problem is that exhaustion has halved the amount of hit points he has. His cap is halved at this moment.
Okay.
So he's not missing hit points.
Okay. See, and that was more or less the player, knew that was probably going to happen. But once he realizes that the essence doesn't really take, as there isn't some kind of deficit to fill, he just says to anyone who's been watching him work up until this point, my best estimation is that for some reason or another, Ashram has exhausted the physical resources in their body, seemingly in a span of just a few moments. He displays all of the physical signs of acute exhaustion, as if somebody had just been found out in the wilderness, not having food or water for days. This is... I mean, Ashram, are you with us? Are you here? And he kind of gently presses Ashram on the side and checks Ashram's eyes, kind of gauging to see what's going on.
I think he sort of focuses on you for a minute, and then he sort of just he stops trembling. I think he finally stops, like, he's trembling. He stops convulsing, I think. And he's just trembling, like low key, like being out in the winter without a jacket for an hour, trembling, like sweating profusely. Makeup is fucked. Trying his best not to. I think he barely is able to nod, and he's doing his best not to bite his own tongue off. His like teeth are clenched. He's gripping his book in his hand so tight he's leaving fingerprints in the leather of it. Like his like knuckles, like he's broken at least a fingernail, like digging into the leather.
Okay.
And he is unable to speak. He's mumbling, but you don't know what he's saying. Like he's not speaking out loud words, but he's just kind of darting around looking at everyone. If Pin, I do need to know if Pin walks in, though.
Does that happen?
Because if Pin walks in, I think, because I talked to Mio in the back. I sent a DM to Mio asking a question, and I think when Ashram sees Pin, he shrieks like he's seen he's like something has scared him immensely. He practically crawls up the wall of his bunk and just screams, "Fiona, no! Fiona, please, no! No!" and just will not calm down.
Damien is doing the best he can to, while not physically restrain Ashram, is to basically keep him from making erratic movements that could harm himself or others.
He is getting as far away from Pin as possible in this small bunk area.
Okay,
Um, as soon as you say that, like Pin is like verbally flashbanged, like fucking they just
Sorry,
like
sorry
no,
for
it's
you
okay.
taking
Like okay,
a side shot on this one,
I
but like,
gagged them a bit. Like they're walking through, hear that name drop, and their eyes go like wide immediately, and they just seem stun locked for a second before they like turn to Ashram, turn their attention to Ashram, who is now like cowering away from them for some reason.
yeah, I think
And
he is huddled up in the corner of the room, as far away from Pin as possible, in the fetal position, with his face covering his eyes, so he can't, like, just like, it's that one image you see, like, where in most horror things, where you open the door and that one person is just like fetal position, face covered,
Oh,
just
like the Here's Johnny?
yeah.
uh, yeah, well, kind of like that, but not
Okay.
with the axe, not with the axe, of course,
Yeah.
but just like
I think
hands
that-
covering the face, like you can just barely see their eyes through their fingers, just bloodshot eyes, sweating, just a fucking real bad mess.
It is going to start, regardless of whether or not Astro is trying to move away, they're going to start moving towards him with like determination. But determination that's void of any sort of like warmth or kindness. It's like pure cold, similar to when they attacked Ashram the first time. And they're going to say sort of under their breath at first, just how do you know that name? And I think if Ashram just keeps repeating it, which does he?
He showed me. He he, sh- he showed me. He showed me all of it. He showed me all of it. He showed me all of it. He showed me all
Stein
of
is
it.
now barreling towards you, by the way.
Damien does not allow you to act out any kind of violence that you would seem try to enact. So if you try to lunge, Damien does step between you and he says, "Now hold on a moment."
Well, it wasn't Tin who was lunging, it was Stein, but you can do a strength check if you want. Do you think you'll win?
It's okay. I mean, yeah, no, actually, Damien doesn't move. He stands in the way. And he says, "Now hold on here. Wait just a minute."
This man is obviously very traumatized.
Yes. He's afflicted by
Almost as
something
if,
quite severe. Well, I mean,
sorry,
I didn't know if you were actually going to wait.
I think Ashram, he says the name again, and then he starts spouting off other names. Like, I don't think it's anyone any of you know. It's definitely the 4 people he got killed are in there for sure. But it's just random names of people.
For just to let you know, D, that is in our pinned DMs if you needed that list of names.
Yes, it is. Thank you. I was going into my own stuff to look through. Yeah, I think he does use Abigail Primrose, Tassler Markov, Jasmine Darkforge, and Baldwin McDwyer. He says Emmerich's name. And he's just rattling off seemingly random names.
he will be saying all of that, once again, picked up by Stein.
No, Damien's in between.
Stein will just barrel through you. You think you're stopping him?
Yes, if you try to stop him, or if you try to move past him, Damien is going to look to you and say, "All right, if you want to be petty, I can be petty." And he's going to point at you and fire a glob of sleep.
A glob
Oh,
of
boy.
sleep. Oh
A
boy.
glob of sleep.
I mean, at this
well,
point,
while you're
Can CC
saying
step between all of this? Can CC step
Yes.
between all of this?
Just
Could I
for
go?
flavor purposes, would Ashram be
Hold on.
also saying
Hold on.
names
Hold
of...
on. 1 second.
Sorry. Yeah.
Mia, what was your question?
Thank you. I was just gonna say, well, if you're gonna put them to sleep anyway, they'll just say, in the midst of this, I think they were, like, saying things, especially since Ashram was just doubling down on saying everything. I think Finn would just sort of been like, "What did he show you? What happened to her? What did they do to her? What did he show you? Tell me now!"
Cece was also saying something.
I'm basically asking when Damien attempts to go cast sleep, can I just step in? Can I just step between it?
No, hold up, get that out.
Getting out of hand.
I think sleep is targeted. So I don't.
Sleep
If you're trying to
Oh.
catch the sleep, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think I can. It was just the I forgot because it was just the way Buddy kind of like flavored it. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have to
More or
ask
less,
Mio a very
yeah.
specific question. What flavor of Warforged did you go with? Did you go with the Eberron one?
Me who does not know. Me double checking my character sheet.
I'm
RN.
pretty sure you did. Because
Most
that is the one that's
Warforged can't be put to
released.
sleep.
Well, hold on. The full release one from Eberron Rising from the Last War mentions nothing about sleep. The Unearthed
okay.
Arcana version, however, so the pre-release one, does say that Warforged cannot be magically put to sleep.
Alright.
Constructor.
I have also
So I
halved my
guess-
HP total. as per
Perfect, thank you. Mio,
Hmm?
do you have Warforged Resilience or Constructed Resilience?
I have constructed resilience. Magic
Then-
cannot put me to sleep.
No.
That's what it says.
That's the Eberron one. Hold on.
Girl, hold on. Let me just screenshot it for you, ATP.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I see it now. You can't be put to sleep. Never mind. See, I control
I
F
might
to
do that.
sleep, and the first one it brought up was the Unearthed Arcana one, which is under the Eberron Warforged. My bad. That was a failing of my control F.
No, even on top of that, I think I'm vetoing the sleep spell just because Damien would also have enough data to know that he himself has seen Pin not need sleep. So
Yeah,
he wouldn't be
actively,
able to
like,
put him-
decline it.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Um,
I mean, you're gonna have to hit me if you want to get me out of the way, but still.
could
Fine.
you say for context here,
Mm.
like to try to so we can try to all get on the same page about what's happening with Ashram? Would Ashram also be saying names of like really famous people who have been irrevocably harmed by magic? Whoever those people would be in the world, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've died, and there's a lot of people who've died from magic. You can honestly rattle off a series of there's a few 100,000 that just died recently in Emerillia. I'm gonna be honest. If you're gonna be rattling off every single name of somebody who died from magic,
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
yeah, you're gonna be.
It's rough out there.
Started from the top or the bottom of history? Like, most recent or, like...
I mean,
It is all jumble jargled.
I think I was gonna say with the way it is, I think it's out from Ashram's personal history. It's like people that Ashram know directly, and then indirectly, and then more indirectly, and it's just it's
6
just
degrees of
this-
separation.
It's just this
So-
for a long time.
In which case, Oko, this is up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Would Jonas's crew be part of that?
Oh,
Because
fuck.
the ship was magically sunk.
Bites my lip.
I feel like if Ashram is allowed to rattle off for long enough, possibly. But there's a lot of things going on right now, and there's a lot of names
Yeah.
to get to. So I don't know
Yep.
if Ash would get that far, depending on what the 3 other people in your party are attempting to do.
You know, above the table, you know who isn't resistant to sleep and
I was
has
literally about to be like,
their HP
like-
points right now. My boy.
Gulp. Well, everyone.
yeah, I was gonna say like Cece's probably gonna look to Damien and be like, "Do you have sleep or something to put him out?"
I mean, yes. Damien is going to press his hand over Ashram's eyes, and the whale of mist that usually culminates around his palm instead just kind of cascades over Ashram's face. You have, I mean, at this point, I'm your designated physician. So how many hit points does Ashram have?
Does your identify anatomy give you that?
I mean, I've been stitching people back there together. I mean,
Okay.
so
I'm
when
not gonna tell you numbers, but again, I described him as basically on death's door.
basically on death's door,
Yeah.
right? Max. Okay. All right. Then screw it. It's not gonna be using anything else. We're gonna hit a level 3 sleep just to really put that trauma into the nulls of void right there. Bada bam.
I think before it takes, when he sees that you're casting a spell, the passive shaking becomes a manic, like, vibration, and shaking his head is like, and you just hear, like, as he's going out, please, no magic, no magic, no magic, and he's gone.
Yeah. You feel Ashram clawing at your arm, trying to get you to take your hand off of his face and his eyes. One hand reaches up towards you and attempts to silence you before you cast this spell, but as you feel the spell take hold, Ashram's body falls slowly limp as sleep overtakes him.
I like the idea that I try to choke you out. Just weak
I said
ass
cover your
old man
mouth.
hand. Weak ass old man hand, just trying to get around your throat to stop you from speaking, and just falls.
Okay, so
It's rough out
He's
here for an
gonna
ashram.
it really do be that way. He's going to be out for about a minute.
In my mind,
That how long it lasts?
Is that how long
Go on.
sleep lasts?
I thought just kind of, if you don't bother them, it just kind of puts you into a regular REM sleep, right? I don't know.
Or someone use an action and subtract each a creature's hit point. Okay, starting with the creature that is lowest to each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious and the spell ends until the spell ends.
Yeah, duration
So-
spell 1 minute.
I've just taken it that it is the spell, again, forcing the action of sleep on you.
Yeah, we could also just say with Ash's 5 levels of exhaustion.
Yeah.
That Ashram does just fucking succumb to sleep.
I mean, yeah, that could just very well happen. So I have wanted to make just like a greater sleep spell. I'm not gonna lie.
I think also with what Aristus said, it is immediately tossing and turning fitful sleep. It is not peaceful. He is not at peace. Y'all, it got rough in there. It got rough in there.
Yeah.
Struggling.
Yeah.
Perfect time to plug the YouTube. If you miss this, just as a heads up, and you want to see how Aristos just fucked up Ash.
Well, that's the
Wow.
thing they did. We
That is
didn't.
true. The VOD gets uploaded on Wednesday.
I know, but I'm not a spoiler boy.
No, that's fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I forgot. The Discord's
more-
not being... Or wait. OBS is not being streamed to the Discord. There you go.
Oh, joy. Damien more or less is just sitting by Ashram. He's, again, now that he knows more or less that the physicality is kind of crazy, he's just making sure that Ashram doesn't hurt himself or someone else with any kind of flailing or anything like that. That, and he is 100% prepared to knock out Ashram again if he starts doing some crazy stuff again.
Standing over him with a lead pipe. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Don't
once
wake
Damien
the
does that,
fuck up.
I'm probably gonna turn towards Pin to like make sure they're okay. And I'm assuming, though, I see that Pin's already gone.
Yeah, Mio typed into out of character that Pin's storming.
Yep.
Stein's still there though. He's
Uh,
standing like statue still vacantly like droning. Like the furnace in him is still
yeah. I'm gonna cast locate object on the necklace with the ring that I gave Pin.
Okay. You, Pin hasn't gotten terribly far yet. You are able to find them.
Okay, so after running out of breath, Pin, are you okay?
out of character. Do you think they're fucking okay? In character,
No, I
no.
know they're not okay, but it's one of those ones where it's like, let me phrase this. So, sorry, this is going to be like, apologies, wrong thing to ask.
Yeah, once again.
Would you like to talk about it?
Saying her name like that. Like he has any right. When he's just as much of a problem as the
I know.
people who did this in the first place.
I understand the anger. It seems whatever caused him to even know that name seems to have left a mark. We can find out how. We can try to end. Well, I guess Damien is there to keep him asleep, so we won't have to hear it again.
And
But
go on, no. Go on,
I was gonna say, but he's gonna be like, but more importantly, what do you want to do?
I think Pin will think about that for a second, and it's almost like the thought of returning just hurts their brain. Like, you can't see it. Stein is still in the cart, but like, as all of those thoughts of seeing this, being back in that space comes back to them, Stein starts to, his groaning gets a little bit louder, the furnace gets a bit brighter, and they sort of just cover their ears as if to quiet their head. And I think they'll just say, I just want to stay here. I just want to stay here for a minute. I just want to be, I don't want to see him.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We can do that. That's completely fine. Here, do you want to stay here or do you want to just walk?
I think in my brain, similar to how most of their conversations have been, Pin found their way into some alley where they could just be alone. And go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, Pin, their eyes will sort of turn to streets of people and light. And they'll just shake their head and just sink a little further into the ground.
Okay, we can stay here then. And CC, if CC hasn't done already, is kind of gonna just like sit down like next to them, and kind of just like like elbows on like his knees, and just be like, "We can stay here for as long as you need."
Under their breath, if he's close enough, I think he'll sort of hear them going like, why does he get to know what happened to her? Why him and not me? I'm the one that was her friend. I cared about her. I endured all of this for her, and he gets to see what happened. I don't need to know where her body is.
CC just, CC kind of just places a hand kind of on Pin's head, and it's just gonna be like, "I know, but I'll promise you this. I will make sure that you know too. You deserve it. And like you said, it's not fair. Well, maybe in time, we can either find out from Ash, or if we have to do it the hard way, whether it's all of us, whether it's me, you, Stein, and Lavi, or whether it is you and Stein, I'm confident you will be able to find out.
They will nod along in agreement to that. So it doesn't do much to stop the sniffles.
Yeah.
It's still happening, unfortunately.
CC is going to be like, also, one moment, because I want to make sure that you have some time alone. Well, obviously, sorry, I'm here ruining the alone moment, but to make sure that everybody else doesn't try to go searching. 1 second. And then Cece's going to cast Sending to Jonas, probably. Because Jonas Jonas seemed to be the only one who was okay and not having their hands full with some type of fuckery going on over there.
Fair.
Having a perfectly normal conversation with this god of fear and death.
Yeah. And then Cece's just going to be basically be like, I found Pin. We'll be a little bit. Don't leave with that mess.
Hex is muted. I don't know if they took the opportunity to step away or if they just don't know that they're muted.
I am here.
Yeah, I'll
I
take
am
whatever.
receiving. I don't know if you get a response.
Wouldn't be the first time I don't get a response when sending, buddy.
I don't think
What else
Cece's
is
gotten
new?
a response yet with sending.
But okay. So you can only send words, right?
Yes,
Let's
25
see.
words.
25 words or less. Yeah.
I can't just send back vibes of him nodding.
Sends like a thumbs up emoji.
Placed on red.
Are they
I was muted.
good? Are they going to need some space? I can cordon off the driver's seat from the rest of the caravan.
Damn, me about to send another sending spell.
Yeah, what else are you using your spells on right now, I guess?
I was about to say, yeah. Cece's before I do that, CC is probably going to confirm with Pin, and basically say, I didn't tell them anything, but Jonas does want to know when we get back, if you want some space, do you want him to like section off the driver's area for you?
They will just nod. Sort of like
And
wipe their nose.
CC does another setting spell and basically kind of gives again like Mio said, sends the mental thumbs up. It's like, yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Don't let Damien try to go looking for us. I promise we'll be back. Just give us some time.
You get back a mental salute.
Stick.
The melt.
And then, oops, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think he will just get to work on, like closing up the glass, the curtains, making a little sort of space.
I would say probably after descending, one of the last things CC's gonna do is basically like ask Pin, is there anything you'd like me to do besides be here?
I don't think they're going to respond. but they are going to just hold tightly onto Cece's hand.
AC kind of gives a squeeze back in response, and probably will kind of like the scarf is kind of hanging and like wrapped on one side, so he'll probably unwrap and kind of put it on Pin for a little bit. Even though CC knows Pin's probably not cold, but you know that's just how it goes. Unfortunately, all CC's clothes are warm clothes. It be like that.
Lilith still has the coat, unfortunately.
Well, last session,
I got a new
Cece
one.
bought a new coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, during
At Pin's recommendation too.
During that little shopping excursion you both had.
Oh, I'm sure they did not steer you wrong at all.
Stein
They got better
gave
fashion
big
design
thumbs
than
up,
I
I think. All right. Oh, go ahead.
That's all.
I think that might be a perfect little spot to end it, to put a bow on it, and to avoid us going nearly an hour overtime. Jeez. Okay. Whew. A lot to unpack there. But yeah, those who need post-game aftercare and who are able to stay, please feel free to stick around in chat. I'm just going to deafen. I'm going to do my send-off, and I'll be with you all shortly. But before we go, in our top left-hand corner, I just want to take some time to thank my players. In our top left-hand corner, we have Damien, played by Simply Your Body, first-time face cam. Then we have Pin, played by Mio. What the fuck with that face? We have Pin, played by Mio Possum. Then we have Ashram, played by High Queen Didi. We have Cece, played by Fridays with Frank. And lastly, we have Jonas, played by Hexavel Zaro. So feel free to check them all out there. They are all amazing. And yeah, I'll be back in a moment, folks.
Give Oko your money.
No.
Bye.
All right, we are going to be ending soon. Oh, I've been here the whole time. But yes, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. As per usual on Inkstain nights, I'm not going to raid out because it is 1 in the morning and I'm very tired. But yes, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. So much went on this session. But if this is your first time here and, you know, maybe you want to check out the other VODs to kind of see how we got to episode 27, feel free to check out that link there. That is my socials link. You can also, if you're watching on YouTube, check down in the description below for my links. But yes, if you guys want to see what other content I'm posting, or if you want to go to YouTube to watch the other VODs of Inkstained, or even if you want to get into the sister campaign Emeraldian Murders, fun fact, I DM 2 campaigns that both take place in the same universe at roughly the same time. Yeah, check it all out there. I also post to Twitter and Blue Sky and TikTok. I have a Ko-fi where I sell physical, tangible merch. And I also normally take art commissions. They're just on pause right now because I've got some very involved art commissions. But yeah. And if you guys maybe want to gush about today's session, or maybe hang out in a safe and welcoming community, and play some games with some amazing folks, meet your fellow adventurers on the tavern floor, feel free to check out that link there and join our Discord. Whenever I want to play a game that's more fun with more folks, I always go to my Discord first. And if you guys want to opt into it, you'll know when I'm going live, you'll see my schedules posted every Sunday, so on and so forth. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here, for being amazing. I want to take some time, thank some folks who made today a little extra special. We had Bacon with Profanity, who trusted us with their community. And we had Pinky, who came in and fucking sub-bombed. Thank you so much, Pinky. It means so much to me that you guys support me and continue to do so. But yeah, have a good one, folks. And until I get to see you all again next week, I hope you all stay awesome, stay safe, and well, I guess this is bye-bye.